Gotta recognize it, recognize royalty. Like they ain't got eyes to recognize royalty.
I can feel.
Recognize royalty.
I can see.
Recognize royalty.
Now I recognize
royalty.
Royal to these eyes.
Royalty.
I can see.
Recognize royalty.
I can love
Recognize royalty.
Now I recognize.
I recognize it.
Royalty.
I recognize the passion. Never just the man with the title in his hand, with the vital in his hand, with the Bible in his hand. You never just the man with the scepter in demand, with the lecture in the stand, with the vector and the candle. Can you understand the grand from the texture of the hand? Hard at work, are you hard at work? Working with the man, don't kiss the ring of royalty. Crown him king, just a thing, letting loyalty ring. Bring frankincense and myrrh and other things. As gold already blings from the highest that prizes no sins. Recognize the kings overruling commandments with the Trinity and the power it brings. When you recognize royalty, I feel it.
I can see.
Yeah, I see it. I recognize now. Royalty.
I can see.
I see it.
I can love again.
Now I'm in love now. I recognize your passion.
Royalty.
Recognize royalty. Sunrise royally. Sitting on top of the world. I'm five morally. Status of a king for surely. Morally, we pop dumb things till we stop the impurity. We pop them just for recognition. Listen to the missionary on a mission with the visionary vision. Do you recognize intuition? I reel in men when I went out fishing. I'll tell you why they rocked the boat. Cause they didn't understand what the prophet wrote. What's the conniption? Choose the Jews' crucifixion and refuse recognition at son child's christening in the mix amid some. Insist they fix the system from malarkey back to my monarchy. Yeah, back up off me. Don't soil my purple and blue, and I will recognize your royalty too.
I can feel you.
I feel it.
I can see.
I can see it.
Now I recognize.
I recognize now.
Royal to these eyes.
Your royalty.
I can see.
I see it.
I can love again.
And I'm in love now.
Now
I recognize your passion.
Royalty.
Royalty. Recognize royalty, like they ain't got eyes to recognize royalty.
I can feel.
Recognize royalty.
I can see.
Recognize royalty.
Now I recognize.
Royalty.
Royal to these eyes.
Royalty.
I can see.
Recognize royalty.
I can love again.
Recognize royalty.
Now I recognize.
I recognize it.
Royalty.
I recognize the passion. Never just the man with the title in his hand, with the vital in his hand, with the Bible in his hand. You never just the man with the scepter in demand, with the lecture in the stand, with the vector and the candle. Can you understand the grand from the texture of the hand? Hard at work, are you hard at work? Working with the man, don't kiss the ring of royalty. Crown him king, just a thing, letting loyalty ring. Bring frankincense and myrrh and other things. As gold already blings from the highest that prizes no sins. Recognize the kings overruling commandments with the Trinity and the power it brings. When you recognize royalty, I feel it.
I can see.
Yeah, I see it. I recognize now. Royalty.
I can see.
I see it. Now I'm in love now. I recognize your passion.
Royalty.
Recognize recognize royalty. Sunrise royally, sitting on top of the world. I'm five morally, status of a king for surely. Morally, we pop them things till we stop the impurity. We pop them just for recognition. Listen to the missionary on a mission with the visionary vision. Do you recognize intuition? I reel in men when I went out fishing. I'll tell you why they rocked the boat. Cause they didn't understand what the prophet wrote. What's the conniption? Choose the Jews' crucifixion and refuse recognition at son child's christening in the mix some and some. Insist they fix the system from malarkey back to my monarchy. Yeah, back above me. Don't soil my purple and blue, and I will recognize your royalty too.
I can feel you.
I feel it.
I can see you.
I can see it.
Now
I recognize now.
Royal to these eyes.
Your royalty.
I can see you.
I see it.
I can love again.
And I'm in love now.
Now
I recognize your passion.
royalty. Royalty.
History, Isaiah.
I do know my
The
history. I'm a
reason
history
why-
major. I'm a history major.
Isaiah. Hey, peace, Isaiah. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine. How you doing, sir?
I can't complain at all. I can't complain at all. Blessings to you. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, I'm very enlightened to be here and to share my conjecture on the situation, because I think a lot of people are just confused about FBA and you know what we are, who we are, and what our importance is to this country. And I just want to give my conjecture, if you don't mind.
Sure, please. Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, so besides Tariq Nasheed, okay, he's the one that coined the phrase FBA. Okay, it stands for Foundational Black American. Okay, it's just another term for a Black American. Okay, he just added the foundational to it because all these years, all these hundreds of years, white man wants to call us what they want to call us. They want to call us Negro. They want to call us Afro-American. They want to call us niggas. They want to call us all kind of different names that a lot of people from the Caribbean island and other places don't know because they weren't here to experience the type of trauma that our people experience here in this country. Okay, for hundreds of years, people don't understand that. My people, okay, come from South Carolina. Both my mother and my father, they face trauma living in the South. They hate the South so much. God bless them. My father gone, but they faced so much trauma in the South that when they came up to the Bronx, to New York City, they didn't want to go back to the South because that's how much pain they endured while they was in the South. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is the post-traumatic stress that Black Americans go through because we dealt with the slavery, we dealt with the discrimination, we dealt with the Jim Crow. All that is still relevant to today's society and how we feel, how we act, and how we carry ourselves. You understand? A lot of people that come from the Caribbean that come here, they don't understand that pain because they was in the islands. They weren't here in the South going through what Black Americans went through. Okay? So when Tariq Nasheed talks about foundational to this country, that is exactly right. Foundational to this country, nowhere else, to America. Because when we came here, we were slaves, we were chattel, we weren't even looked at as human beings. That wasn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they faced that same thing in Jamaica and in the islands too, because we all came on the slave ships and we came here. Some were already here, but the majority came on the slave ships. Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
what
the ones that came on the slave ships and the ones that were already here band together to overcome the stuff that we went through, with slavery. Okay, but while we were here, because of, like he said, this ethnogenesis that we went through, we made our own culture here. because of that hundreds of years of being here, you know, we have so many different contributions that we have created because of that ethnogenesis in this country. You understand? So when, you know, when he talks about, I don't know anything about the Phoenicians and all the type of stuff you talk about. That type of stuff don't have nothing to do with foundational Black Americans. Only thing we can talk about is what we laid down here, in this country. Okay. So when he talks about foundational, he means foundational because it's our blood, sweat, and tears that we went through that built this country. It was cotton. It was picking those, going in the fields, picking the cotton, picking the tobacco, all that type of agriculture that us Black Americans, okay, that we did is the basis for the wealth of this country. And it's because of that the civil war happened, and it's because of that, you know what I'm saying, they had to give us our rights eventually because we were a big problem for them. You know what I'm saying? They had to free us eventually. But with that freeing us, they still kept us enslaved because they had the black codes, they had the segregation, they had the black codes, they had all kind of different laws, legal laws against us that we didn't have rights. I mean, you didn't see that in any other country. You didn't see where, you know, any other blacks,
So
not even in Jamaica. Hold on, not even in Jamaica.
Right. Let me just say something. Do you believe that in those other countries, even though there weren't black codes, there weren't Jim Crow
segregation,
laws,
there wasn't none of that stuff there. None of that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that the people in those other countries, after those countries were emancipated, do you believe that the slaves in those countries still had difficulties to deal with?
Sure, they had difficulties, but their difficulties.
Right. Now, they may not, and that's my whole point. They may not have been these legal terms of Jim Crow, but those slaves in those Caribbean countries were still going through a lot, which is why they were all trying to still, even to today, they're still trying to move here. So just because there aren't any legal terms for it called Jim Crow laws doesn't mean that those people that were there weren't being discriminated against big time. And it's still happening now. There are black Jamaicans that think they're still being discriminated against now in Jamaica. So, you know, I'm still trying to figure out why you feel that the black experience in America after slavery, right? Why you feel like after slavery, black Americans had it so much harder than slaves, than freed slaves in the Caribbean, because I don't think that's necessarily true at all. And the reason I don't think that's true is because there weren't any black Americans post-slavery that were trying to move to the Caribbean. There were Caribbean people who were trying to move here. So I'm trying to figure out why y'all think you had so much better than everybody.
I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so like I said, there was nowhere else did they have systematic, and I'm talking about systematic. Y'all had your little thing going on there. Yeah, y'all had discrimination, but y'all didn't have actual laws, okay, in the books in Jamaica or any of those islands that was systematically keeping y'all away from what matter of fact, y'all even had like you know what I'm saying, the government of Jamaica.
That's not even true. Like if you look into Rastafarian history, Rastafarians will tell you that there were laws against them specifically, right? And I'm sure there were laws against not just Rastafarians, but other groups of blacks. There were laws against the what do you call those people that went up into the hills, the Maroons. Of course, there were laws against specifically set against groups of black people because they were trying to get their freedom. So again, I'm not
pretty much ran their own government. But hold on, they pretty much ran their own government. What I'm trying to explain to you, in those islands, a lot of people that's of those islands, they ran their own governments, meaning they pretty much, for the most part, I'm not saying all the way, but for the most part.
When did Jamaica gain its independence to run its own government?
I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about black people. Black people of the islands were running their own government, whereas here,
until they gained independence, until those Caribbean countries gained independence, they were all ran by the British. They were still British colonies. And they, most of them got their independence in the early 20th century, 1960s maybe. Like, so why are you saying that they were running their own countries? And they weren't independent until very recently.
Okay, but hold on. No, you might be true, but for the most part, if you look at the history, y'all had it. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that y'all had it so much better, but you know what I'm saying. You got to understand where we coming from, because when y'all come to this country,
Isaiah, if we had it so much better, why were people leaving the Caribbean to come here? And why is it even today? And why is it even today when they come here and face what y'all are facing, what Black Americans are facing?
Economics, because we were able to.
They still don't even understand what your complaints are.
That's why you think we saying that we the foundation to this country, man. Because we, as our blood, sweat, and tears that helped build that country to the point where it was the richest country in this world. The United States is the richest country in this world because of the backs of Black people. Okay, I'm not saying other people didn't do that.
As well, Isaiah, it's off of the
I'm not saying
as well. But
I'm not saying other people didn't. I'm not saying other people didn't play a part in that. But it was the slaves. It was
foundation to America.
How was it?
Do you think immigrants are also foundational to America?
I believe they played a part in it, but before you got here, before immigrants got here, we was here already hundreds of years building this country. We was here hundreds of years building this country, or my brother. You don't.
Oh.
I mean, hold on. You don't accept that we was here since the 1600s. Nobody was here. Nobody was here but us and white people.
Hold on.
So that's why we're saying we're the foundation, because when this country was first built, we were here. Nobody else is here but blacks and whites. Blacks and whites, brother.
The whites that were here, weren't the whites immigrants?
The whites were immigrants. No, brother. When they came on those ships, when they came on the ships in the 1600s, when they brought us, they came here and set shop up. And they started.
Can we have a conversation, Isaiah? Can we have a conversation?
Yes, we have the conversation.
Here on those ships, the whites that came on their ships, they were immigrants, correct?
No, because the country wasn't built yet, my brother. So how could they be immigrants to a country that wasn't built yet? That wasn't built yet.
So you're saying
it wasn't even built yet. There was no United States yet in the 1600s.
Slaves are not foundational because America wasn't built yet.
Okay, but
America wasn't built until 1776. So all of this 1600 stuff you're talking about, America wasn't built yet. So you're not foundational.
We were here. But we were here. We were here already.
So was the white man.
But
you just
okay, but that's why we're saying we're foundational to this country, brother. But why is people from the Caribbean having a problem with that with us? When we telling you we are the foundation, you can ask any Black American. You can ask any Black American. You can ask any Black American, my brother, and they're gonna tell you.
White man foundational.
No, they're not foundational.
But he was here before you.
No, he wasn't. The white man was not here before us.
Here as a slave. Didn't he?
Brother, I just told you that there were Black people here already. There were Black people here in this country already.
How many? How many?
I don't know. I wasn't there around the time, but there was some here already.
Isaiah, let me ask you a question,
Isaiah.
Yes.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
By probability, who do you think is more likely that you are a descendant of? Do you think it's more likely that you're a descendant of the Black people that were here before the white man? Or do you think it's more likely that you're a descendant of the Black people that the white man brought here?
No, because I have a lot of features of African American Africans, and I have a lot of features of the Olmecs. I have a lot of features of Olmec people. I do.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, the average Black American, not you, the average Black American. Do you think the average Black American is more likely going to trace his lineage to? Do you think the average Black American is going to more likely trace his lineage back to the slaves that the white man brought here, or back to the Blacks that were here way before the white man? Who do you think?
That's not quantifiable. That's not quantifiable.
Of course it is, because that's what you mean by being foundational.
It's not quantifiable. Only thing we can tell is if we do a trace. if we do a trace, a DNA trace, like a ethno trace, you know what I'm saying? Could we know that? I haven't done that yet. I never done that, but I can tell you one thing: my people are foundational because all my family come from here. None of us are immigrants. We were in this country for centuries. I can tell you one thing: I have white in my family. I have white in my blood. Yes, I do. Because guess what? The white man was raping our women in slavery time. So we do have a lot of white blood in us too. Okay, we have Indian blood. We have African blood. We the same way Jamaicans and people from the island have what you call a Taino, all that type of stuff. They talk about our Taino blood, the Spaniard blood, and all the other mixtures. The same thing with American blacks. We have mixtures too, and because we have those mixtures, that was the ethno side that we are talking about. Because we have all those mixtures in us. We have Cherokee, we have Navajo, we have all kind of Indian blood in us, especially on my father's side. No, on my father and mother's side, we have Indian blood.
So are Indians foundational to America as well? They were here before you, and they were slaves.
Okay, well they're not foundational. You know why they're not foundational? They're not foundational because they didn't help build it. They didn't help build it. They were just here. They didn't help build it.
Yes, they did, Isaiah. The white man had them as slaves before they enslaved the Africans.
Oh, brother, no.
The white man, Isaiah, you got to know your history, Isaiah.
I do know my history. I'm a history major. I'm a history major.
Isaiah,
what's your name? What's your name?
American Dream.
Oh, okay, American Dream.
The reason the white man even went to Africa to look for slaves is because the Indians couldn't handle the hard work and they were dying off. So the Indians were used as slaves before Africans. So I'm asking you, are Indians also foundational?
What did they do? If they couldn't handle it, who took the load? So you answered your own question. If they couldn't handle it, for how many hundreds of years did the black man handle the slave work for everybody? Anybody? We're the ones that carried the load. You just answered your question. So I mean, I don't understand what the discrepancy is. If they couldn't handle it, right, and then they brought us here, which is the 1700s. They brought us here. If they couldn't handle the load and they took all the load on us, they even had us as chattel. They didn't look at the Indian as less than human. They looked at the black man, the African, as less than human because of our skin. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you is when they had us here as slaves doing all that free labor, that we didn't have no choice because we were outnumbered. Only 5% of the Africans that came off those ships came to America. So we was outnumbered 50-1. Okay, so when we came here and we was enslaved, we had to do what that white man told us because we didn't want to die. You know what I'm saying? So we had to do what we had to do to survive. So a lot of things that we did, we did it for survival.
Well. Huh? That's true of the Indian as well.
Okay,
and a lot of black people, the same way a lot of Indians died, a lot of black people died. So if the Indians are not, if Indians are not foundational because they couldn't take the work, then all of the black people that died through slavery are not foundational either because they couldn't handle the work. You're acting as if all black people could handle that work.
But hold on. Those were our ancestors. So how come I'm here? How come a lot of black Americans are still here? You know what I'm saying? And we're still thriving. So what I'm trying to say, we did stand the test of time. We did stand the test of time. We did.
So
we survived.
Native Americans are still here.
Yeah, but look where they at. They in reservations. We still in, you know what I'm saying, in society.
That's kind of what FBA wants. Doesn't FBA want to be separated? And
we in society. We made culture here. They didn't really make culture here, brother. If the Indians
doesn't correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't FBA kind of like want to have like their own state or something?
Our own what? Own state?
State.
Hold on, what do you mean state? We want to have our own state. What do you mean?
Be separated, like
okay, let me explain that. Let me explain that. Okay, let me explain that. Let me explain that, my brother. Okay, hear me out.
You have your own flag. Like you have your own flag, right?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Hold on, but that was way back. That was way back in the 70s. No, hold on.
Kind of behaving as if you're on your own reservation.
Oh no. Hold on. What you gotta understand is, see, that's the problem. That's the disconnect. A lot of people don't understand why FBA is what we call delineating. We're delineating. It's called delineation, my brother, and it's not because we want to. It's because we felt as though at this time in the United States we have to delineate, because if you look at our history, black people, black Americans are always welcoming. Always. We never had no type of dissension or no type of anything with nobody. Matter of fact, I'm from the Bronx, and guess what? I have a lot of West Indian friends, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, all that type of good stuff. But listen here, okay? That doesn't take away from our cultural background. We all got different cultures. We all got different ways of thinking, different mentalities. What he's trying to say is, we're not trying to separate ourselves in a way where we don't want to mess with y'all. But when it comes to political stuff, when it comes to stuff that we feel like we deserve, we have to kind of separate ourselves from other blacks that don't feel we deserve that. Because guess what? If you're doing that to us, okay, listen, if you're doing that to us, you're working against us. You're not helping us. So if you're not helping us and you're in the way, then we can't mess with you on that type of level. Do you understand? Because all these years we've been fighting for everybody. Fighting for Puerto Ricans. We've been fighting for Mexicans. We fight for everybody. We don't leave nobody out. If you're a minority and say you're a person of color, we're going to fight for you. But when we see that all our fighting for you is not contributing to anything for us, guess what? We have to delineate. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about politically delineation.
Let me just say this. If that was all it was to it, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If all it was y'all wanted to delineate because whatever, I don't have an issue with that. I think you have a right to delineate. Y'all can have it. But that's not all y'all want to do. You want to. So
what else we want to do? What else we want to do?
You want to delineate, and then you want to say you guys are foundational, and nobody else.
That's just facts. That has nothing to do with it. That's facts.
That's not facts.
Oh my God, my brother.
Listen.
That's the disconnect. We don't think we're better than nobody, but we are foundational to this country. We are foundational to this. African Americans, Black Americans, are foundational to this country. Okay,
are white people foundational to this country?
White people, but we're not. Listen, we're not
yes
on that.
No, I see. That's the problem. See, you won't even answer that question.
Of course, they are foundational to this country because they're the powers that be, my brother. That's a stupid question.
What about immigrants? What about immigrants in general?
They participated. They are.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Their participation in helping, but they're not foundational. They're not foundational.
See, that's the problem we're having. Like in my estimation, Isaiah, the immigrants that came here to work are more foundational than the slaves that were here being forced to work.
Okay, but why would you say that? Why would you say that? Because you have something against Black Americans?
Because here's why I say that. Because America literally gave up slavery. And the reason they gave up slavery was for immigration. They were like, we're not going to do this with slavery. We're going to do this through immigration. The work that we're going to use to build America is going to be not through slavery. When America stopped slavery, Isaiah, you know what they increased? Immigration. When America stopped slavery,
immigration. Had nothing to do with immigration, my brother. It had nothing to do with immigration. Nothing to do with immigration. It was the Civil War. That's why the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment was made for the American freed slaves, freedmen. That's us. That's why those amendments were made for us, because they wanted to. They knew that after slavery, they had to do something with us. They couldn't just have us roaming around and not have any type of bearing on nothing, because we weren't running from our country that we are help building and that we built. We're not running,
bro. Listen to what you're saying.
We didn't flee.
Listen to what you just said, Isaiah. Listen to what you just said, Isaiah. We're gonna have to you're gonna have to allow me to speak as well. Like even what you just said, they had to find something for y'all to do.
No, they
Otherwise,
had to
y'all would
find
just be
something for
running
us
around.
because
Let's
guess
review.
what? We were enslaved for
Isaiah,
100
you just
years.
keep cutting me
We were
off.
enslaved for
Isaiah,
100 years, my
Isaiah,
brother.
you cannot just keep cutting me off. It's just me and you. You're gonna have a chance to say what you're saying, but you cannot just keep cutting me off. Even what you just said, they had to find something for you to do. They couldn't just have you running around. That statement alone means you weren't foundational. Like
We were a
somebody
threat,
who,
my
I'm
brother. We
building,
were a threat, my brother. We
Let
were
me
a
finish.
threat. Are you crazy?
Isaiah,
We
let
were a
me
threat.
finish.
We were a threat. We were a threat.
Isaiah, you gotta let me finish though. Like I'm gonna finish, and then you can speak. Like
Right.
like talking over
Right,
each
so-
other. Nobody can't hear what we're even saying.
Okay.
Um, what I'm saying, bro. Even if I'm building a plant, and there are people there that I have to find something to do with them, then they're not foundational to that plant. Like if I had a choice, if I had my own choice, I would probably get rid of them. But since I don't have a choice, I have to figure out what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? So either you're going to change what you just said about, oh, they have to figure out something to do with us. It can't be that and you're foundational. It just cannot. So that's the main issue I'm having with y'all, is this idea of y'all thinking you're foundational and no one else is. You won't even, it's even hard for you to give the white man his props as being foundational to this country. Even though in another breath, you're going to say white supremacy built this country, but you're saying white people are not foundational. Go ahead.
You just said it. My brother, you just said it. White supremacy is the foundation to this country. But hold on. They are white supremacists, the powers that be are naturally going to be foundational, but it was the blacks, it was off the backs and the blood, sweat, and tears of African American slaves that built this country, that the white man used us. They used us to build this country. Okay, they used us to build this country. So after, hold on, let me finish. Can I finish? Because you talk. After slavery, after the Emancipation Proclamation, when they freed us, the reason why I'm saying they had to find something for us to do, because they felt threatened by us. They knew that they enslaved us for hundreds of years. So to have hundreds of thousands of goddamn Africans roaming around the country, they didn't want us to think about trying to overthrow the government. So they had to find different methods, which they still eventually did, because they had the black codes. They kept us in line. Why do you think the cops was made? Why do you think the police department was made? To keep black people in line. Okay, they had to find a way to keep us in line. They had the slave, the Ku Klux Klan. They had all these different methods they used to keep black Americans in line after slavery and after the Emancipation Proclamation was ratified. Okay, so in order for them to keep us in line, hold on. Also, you got to understand, when we were freed, we had to make our own way. So eventually we still ended up in the chattel slavery, which is called sharecropping, which we still eventually did, because we had no other way of making money. So it still was a modern day slavery, because they still had control over us. We didn't have control of our own destiny. So we still had to depend on the white man for sustenance. So when you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, they had to find something else for us to do. Yes, they didn't find nothing for us to do. We found things for us to do. Some of us went to the cities. And got industrial jobs, but even those jobs were for the white man, the white immigrants coming here. They had those jobs for the white man. So we still was left out, you know what I'm saying, of the whole society up until the 1960s. We still had the lion's share, or what I would say the short end of the stick when it comes to everything, even after we were enslaved for all them hundreds of years. When we came out of slavery, we still had to make our own way. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to explain to you is, yes, we are the foundation to this country, because without our blood, sweat, and tears to make this a world power, even in the 1800s, we were a world power. Ain't no other country was better than the United States, because we the ones that made it that way. You understand? Yes, immigrants had a stake in it, but it was us that really laid that foundation early. Early. I'm not talking about later on. I'm talking about early. You know,
Let
I'm
me ask
talking
you a
about
question, Isaiah. Isaiah, let me ask you a question. Do you think Black Americans outnumber immigrants in America today?
if you talking about every immigrant group, I'm not sure
Yeah, all
because there's so
immigrant
many
groups.
immigrants here.
All immigrant
Everybody's
groups.
coming in. Everybody's coming in.
Right. So in my estimation, immigrants, there's probably the ratio of immigrants to Black Americans is probably 3 to 1, if not 4 to 1. There's probably 4 immigrants for every 1 Black American.
Could be, but that doesn't take away
And I
our
think,
historical
okay,
importance.
let me just say this, and I think even that's true. That has been true. That ratio or that proportion has been true for a very long time, probably since the Civil War.
No,
That
not at all.
That
Not
distinction
at
has
all.
been true for a very long time.
Not at all.
And
Not at all.
let me just say what I'm suggesting, then you can talk again. What I'm suggesting is because today, given that 4 to 1 ratio today, in my estimation, immigrants are more foundational to America today because of that 4 to 1 ratio. Because there are so many more immigrants in America today, immigrants are more foundational to America today than Black Americans are.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I agree with you. No, hold on. I agree with you.
I know, but let me finish.
Listen, I'm agreeing with you.
Isaiah, don't make me mute you. I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish. Matter of fact, you lucky. I got a call coming in. Go ahead. Isaiah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I had a phone call coming. I kind of forgot what I was saying.
No. You were saying that
But yeah, I was talking about the 4 to 1 ratio, even today. And I think that if you go back 100 years, that ratio is still about 4 to 1. 200 years, like I think regardless of how far back you go, the ratio of immigrants to Black Americans is still larger. There's still a larger population of immigrants in America to slaves or to descendants of slaves, regardless of which period of America you're talking about. And because of that, immigrants have always been more foundational to America than slaves or their descendants have been. Always. Just simply based on numbers, bro.
Okay, can I talk? I just want to.
Yes.
I want to conject. I want to say. I would say that immigrants today outnumber Black Americans because you got to think if you talk about immigrants, you're talking about people from Mexico, you're talking about people from the Dominican Republic, you talk about people from the islands, you're talking about people that came here, from Europe, on the Ellis Island. You're talking about all those hundreds of thousands of people, okay, that came here after this country was built already, even after all that was laid down, because those people came in like early 1900s. Hold on. Let me finish.
Sure.
Those people that came to Ellis Island came in the early 1900s. Okay, the bulk of them, the ones from Europe, the bulk of them came in the early 1900s. Early. Okay. Now the ones from Puerto Rico and all those other countries, the Caribbean countries, didn't start rolling in here until, like I say, the middle of 1940, 1950, okay? We were already heavily ingrained in American culture. What I'm trying to explain to you, okay, my brother, listen, hear me out, okay? Because we've been here so long, out of any group, we the ones, beside the white man, that's been here. I'm not even counting the Indians. The Indians is like a non-factor. And the reason why I'm saying they're a non-factor because they had their own separate society. They weren't incorporated into mainstream society. So we're not even talking about them. They on reservations. They in their own world. Okay. So what I'm talking about is people like, you know what I'm saying, like us, like, you know, freedmen, white people, other ethnic groups that came here, okay, after the 1900s, okay? We were already here since 1600s. We were already laying down our culture for at least 200-300 years before 1900, okay? So what I'm saying to you is the people that came from Ellis Island, the Europeans that came here from Ireland and all Scotland, all them other places, they came here, right? They came here. And when they came here, they dispersed all throughout the United States. A lot of them came, you know, to the cities, the big cities, like the industrial cities, like up in New York, you know, Connecticut, Boston, all the places, right? That's why they have such a big Irish community. That's why New York City and the Bronx especially was heavily Jewish, heavily Irish, heavily all that, because they came here from Ellis Island, Ellis Island, and came the right way and got their citizenship. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to explain to you is, yes, they started getting a population in the early 1900s. Okay, into the early 20th century, 20th century. Okay, they started getting a population, but we were already here, making a foundation for ourselves and to the American fabric. Okay, we were already here. So as time went on, and we kept on, you know, making culture here. We kept on making our own culture because of our experiences here. Okay. Other factions, other groups that came here, they had to pretty much, especially if you're Caribbean. If you're Caribbean and you're black, okay, you're not gonna have such a what's the word? Camaraderie with the white man. Okay, I don't think so, because you're black, and the white man gonna make sure you know that you're black, even though you're from the Caribbean. So if you're coming here into this country, and you're coming into the American society, you're gonna come in to the people who closely looks like you, which is us. That's what I'm saying. We never had no beef. Black Americans and West Indians never had no beef. We're brothers. But because of society, white men, you know what I'm saying, how they try to pit us against one another, okay? They try to, you know, tell this group, oh no, you're better than that group. Oh no, they to try to keep us down. So all that's been going on and brewing for decades, my brother, decades. Okay, we are our own worst. Well, you know that old saying, we are our own worst enemy, and that's the truth, because the diaspora of, you know what I'm saying, the blacks and Latinos, we are pitted against one another for resources, for political power, for, you know, for culture, for this, for that. They pit us against one another, which is what you're doing now. Because when I see you, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Hear me out. When I hear you and you talking so much badness about Tariq, I'm like, well, why are you talking so much badness about him when he's trying to uplift his people? For years, decades. Hold on. For decades, people want to say.
Isaiah, no, hold on, Isaiah. Trying to uplift his people by calling me a tether. Like, don't act as if Tariq. Hold on.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Listen, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
As long as you know that the venom, the quote unquote venom that you're getting from Caribbean people isn't just in a vacuum, like y'all ain't doing nothing. Like if you think, Isaiah, that claiming that Black Americans are foundational and nobody else is, if you think that's not insulting and a shot, you're kidding, or you're fooling yourself.
Let me ask you a question. Are you Jamaican? Are you Jamaican? You Jamaican, right? Yes. You Jamaican?
My parents are Jamaicans, yes.
Okay, so say this is right. if I go to your island right now, if Black Americans by the thousands go to your country right now, your island, right? Just hear me out.
Yeah.
If thousands of African Americans, Black Americans that really are not Jamaican, okay, and we go to your island and we say, listen.
But I really am an American. See, you got to fix up your analogy, Isaiah, because when I'm not just here as an illegal, I'm an American citizen. So you have to fix your analogy. You have to say, if a bunch of y'all go to Jamaica and become citizens, do y'all have a right to say how the American government, whether or not the Jamaican government?
No.
Let me finish, Isaiah. If you become a Jamaican citizen and move to Jamaica, you will have all the rights of a Jamaican citizen.
But could I say that Black Americans? Could I say that I'm foundational to Jamaica? Could I say I'm foundational to Jamaica as a Black American? As a Black American,
they would look at you as if you're ridiculous. But they would call you a Jamaican. They wouldn't say you're not Jamaican. No Jamaican says they're foundational to Jamaica. If you go to Jamaica and say you're foundational, they would look at you like you're ridiculous. Because for one, they don't even say they're foundational, and they wouldn't. You will not find a Jamaican talking about, oh, I'm a foundational Jamaican, because the idea is just silly.
Why?
So if you go there,
wasn't the Jamaican slaves foundational to building of that country, of the island? Yes. I'm asking you. Think about it. Think about it.
Slaves, yes.
Okay, so wasn't y'all foundational to the upbuilding of that island?
Yes. But we're not going to call ourselves foundational Jamaicans. The idea is silly.
Foundational.
So your mic is breaking up, Isaiah. You're breaking up.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now, but you're going in and out.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get closer. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're clear now.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, listen. See, people are getting so caught up with this foundational thing, man. We just Black Americans, dog. Okay, we just Black Americans. Stop getting caught up with that foundation. Stop getting caught up with foundational. That's just something added because we want to.
Foundational is the insulting part.
But it's not. It shouldn't be.
That's the piece that y'all added. Hold on, but Isaiah, you cannot add. We've always been Black Americans. Jamaicans were even considered Black Americans. Puerto Ricans were considered Black Americans at one point. Everybody was a Black American. Now you guys added in the foundational part.
Because we're trying to delineate, my brother. You heard what I said? We have to delineate. In order for us to delineate, we have to separate ourselves as a separate ethnic group. Okay? In order for us to do that, we have to add the foundational Black American to it so we can delineate ourselves and we can have some type of being to show that we are of a certain lineage, okay? So we can get what we need to get as a people. So we can organize. So we can organize as a people. So we can get what we need from the American government. Really, this has nothing to do with y'all. This, brother, I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with Caribbeans, brother. This is our business. This is unfinished business with the white man. It has nothing to do with y'all at all. If you think about it, it really has nothing to do with Puerto Ricans. It has nothing to do with Jamaicans. It has nothing to do with Haitians. It has nothing to do with, it's unfinished business between Black Americans and the American government. Nothing to do with y'all. Do you understand that much? Do you understand that?
I understand what you're
Okay, so that's all it is. That's all it is.
Isaiah, even on Tariq's website, Tariq on his website say Caribbean immigrants are working for white supremacy. So how does it have nothing to do with us?
That's hold on. I'm not saying you. I'm not
agents of white. He says Tariq Nasheed says the government specifically brought in Black immigrants from the Caribbean to downplay the FBA movement that was going on.
Okay.
So how does it have nothing to do with us? Your whole movement.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
The whole FBA movement is an anti-immigrant movement.
No, it's not. It's an anti-American.
It's an anti. It's an but who? Why is it an anti-government movement? But but the word tether doesn't apply to government people. It applies to immigrants.
Listen, it applies to anybody who goes against what we are trying to do. It's the white man that's a tether.
No, it goes against immigrants. A tether is an immigrant. The tether
No, my
term
brother.
doesn't apply to white people.
Tether is anybody who's going against us, man. Anybody who's going against what we're trying to do. No, it has nothing to do with immigrants.
White people, white supremacists, white Americans that you consider white supremacists. A white American that you consider a white supremacist. Are they tethers?
They are not tethers.
Okay, so not everybody is a tether. Stop saying that.
Okay,
not everybody
but hold on.
Is a tether.
Because they are the ones we trying to get what we need to get from. They're the ones that's why this has nothing to do with y'all. But
they go against you.
You know, okay, but
do they go against you?
Who?
White people that are white supremacists.
That's who the problem is. That's who the problem is. That's who the problem is.
Are they tethers?
They are the American government, my brother. That's who we have beef with. We don't have beef with. We have no beef. Listen, my brother. Listen to me. Listen, we don't have beef with no Caribbean. We have
your beef. No, you listen for a second. Your beef is with white supremacists and the American government, but you don't have a special name for them. You don't have a derogatory name for them. All you call them a white supremacist. You call them supremacists. That's not a derogatory term. That's a term bigging them up. They're supremacists. They're supreme. Immigrants who have nothing to do with it, you have a special name for. They're tethers, a derogatory term. So how does it have nothing to do with them, but you have a derogatory term just for them?
Hey, my brother, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me for a change, okay? Instead of going against what Tariq is saying, or going against or disagreeing with Tariq, stop and just think. If I do this, am I helping what he's trying to do? Am I helping the Black American cause? Because see, when you do that, you're putting yourself in a tether category because you're going against what we are trying to accomplish in this fight. In this fight, we are trying to accomplish something. Hold on. Listen. I'm from the Bronx, dog. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx, man. Jamaicans stick together. Puerto Ricans stick together. Haitians stick together. This is the only time I've seen in a long time the Black Americans are sticking together and staying on code. Do you know how important that is for us as a people? When your people always stick together, y'all always stick together. Y'all don't always listen. I've been around Jamaicans all my life, and guess what? They are so giving to each other. They are loving to each other. They show camaraderie to it. We don't do that. So now that we are trying to do that, why is that a problem?
Isaiah.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Like, you're making stuff up. Jamaicans don't always stick together like that.
Oh my God.
Puerto Ricans don't always stick together like that. They don't. Cut it out. Like, stop trying to make stuff up. Like,
so that's made up. So y'all don't stick together. When they come to this country, they stick together. Jamaicans mainly stick together. Puerto Ricans and Asians and all them community as a whole usually stick together. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about as a whole. I'm talking about as a whole.
Not any more than Black Americans do. Black Americans have
bullshit.
Black power movement. Y'all got Pan-Africanism. Y'all got the whole civil rights movement. Now
that's right. FBA. That's the only time. After that, we lost that. After that, we lost that, my brother. After that, we lost that, my brother. After that, we lost that, my brother.
One example. Give me
After that, we lost that, my brother.
Y'all have been Black power.
Yes. Back in those times, way a long time ago. A long time ago.
Where is the Jamaican group getting together in America that you're talking about? Where? Where's the foundation?
I'm talking about as a people, man. I'm talking about as a people, man. As a community. I'm talking about as a community.
You're making.
I'm talking about as a community. As a community. As a community.
You are making that up to excuse.
I'm making that up. Okay, I'm making that up. So we don't need. We don't even talk no more.
To excuse the fact that you're being divisive.
Right? Oh, we being divisive?
Yes, of course you are. Y'all the ones calling Caribbean people tethers. You don't think that's divisive, bro? Like you're
Tethers?
excusing everything y'all do that's
Right.
divisive, and then saying, "Oh, it's your fault." You think calling like we didn't start calling y'all tethers. We didn't have a special name for y'all.
Yes, Yankees. You'll call us Yankee boy. You'll call us Yankee boy. Yankee boy. You'll call us Yankee boy. That's not being divisive.
Older than whatever.
But isn't that divisive? Isn't that divisive?
No, not necessarily. No.
Why isn't that divisive? It's derogatory.
No.
It's not positive.
No.
It's not positive. Yankee boy is not positive. It's to be looked at as derogatory.
What does it mean? What does Yankee mean?
Yankee boy means a black man or black American from the States.
No, it don't. It just means you're.
So what does it mean?
It means you're American.
A black American. A black American.
No,
it has to do with black Americans. It has nothing to do with white Americans. Black Americans. Yankee boy is black American. Stop
okay,
playing.
so it means black American. A tether doesn't mean.
Y'all been calling us that for centuries, dog. Y'all been calling us that for decades. We just started this tether thing. Y'all been calling us Yankee boy for decades. For decades.
Yankee means black.
A black American. That's a derogatory name.
That's the difference. We don't call ourselves tethers. You call yourself what we call you. We call you a Yankee, which means black American. You call yourself a black American.
Is that supposed to be positive? But is that supposed to be? But I'm saying, is that supposed to be positive though? A Yankee boy, was that meant to be positive? Or was that meant to be derogatory?
It's not meant to be derogatory. It's not meant to be either. It's just meant to be, yo, you're an American. It's not meant to be a derogatory term.
Oh, come on, man. Stop, man.
You're an American.
Yo, now you're making excuses now. Now you're making excuses, my brother. Come on, man. Come on. We just started that because we're trying to delineate, man. That's all. We're trying to delineate. That's all. I mean, what's so hard? People always try to delineate themselves from us. They try to separate themselves from us.
Isaiah, Yankee is a delineating term. Hey, peoples. So I'm trying to drop this link. I'm definitely trying to drop the link, but I'm hoping we can get a couple more likes in there. So hit that like button, please. If we get 10 likes, we drop the link. We dropped the link for 10 likes. I'm only seeing 5 so far. So let's hit the like button, and we drop the link. Because all it means is you're a black American. We're delineating.
Okay, so why? So y'all been delineating from us for years. That means y'all been delineating from us for years. Y'all been separating yourselves from us for years.
When you say tether, just know you're muted right now. When you say tether, that's not just delineating. You're calling us leeches. That's not just delineating. When we say Yankee, it means you're a black American, and we're delineating. When you call us a tether, you're not just calling us Jamaicans or Caribbean. You're calling us Jamaican and Caribbean leeches. That's derogatory. You must see the difference. And if you don't, you're really trolling.
Tether is? Do you know what a tether is?
A leech.
No, that's not what it is, my brother. You're making stuff up. A tether is listen to me. Because you have to listen, okay? Because you're not understanding, and that's why you were making a podcast on stuff you don't know. Listen, a tether is just somebody who is going against what we are trying to do. It's nothing more or nothing less than trying to go against what Black Americans, FBA, is trying to accomplish. You're going against what we're trying to accomplish. That's all. This means y'all are going against us. That's all it
No,
is.
it does not.
Has nothing to do with leeches. It has nothing to do
No,
with
it
nothing
does
you
not. That's
talking
not
about.
what it means. That's
Oh
not what
my
it means.
God. Oh my God, man.
If all it means was that you're going against us, then white supremacists would be tethers. And you already said white
Supremacists
supremacists
or white
are not
supremacists.
tethers.
We have a name for them. White supremacists.
Go against you.
White supremacists or white supremacists. That's
Are they
their name.
tethers? Are they?
Huh?
Do they go against you? Do they go against you?
Yes, that's why we call them white
Are they
supremacists.
tethers?
White supremacy.
Are they tethers? Are they
They're white
tethers?
supremacists. No,
Are
we
they
have a different
tethers?
name for y'all because y'all supposed to be with us. That's why we call you a tether, because you're supposed to be with us and you're not acting like you with us because you're going against us. That's why we calling you a tether, because you're supposed to be our brother. We're supposed to be together, and you're going against what we're trying to do. That's why we're calling you a tether, or Caribbeans tethers, because we're supposed to be in the same family. And we're not acting like it because you're doing things against us. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's all we're saying. We call the white supremacist because that's all he's been to us, and that's the government. That's the powers that be. So we are going up against the white supremacists to get what we want. We have to go to the white man to get what we want because they're the ones that enslaved us for over 200-300 years. We trying to get what we need to get from him. But y'all are supposed to be our brother. Y'all supposed to be our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, and you're acting like you're not. So guess what? We're calling you tethers because y'all not for us. So that's to separate ourselves from you.
How are we not for you? How are we not for
That
you?
look what you're doing. You make a podcast saying stuff like, FBA this, FBA. Why are you going
FBA
against your brother? Are we brothers? Aren't we supposed to be brothers? So why are you making a podcast against us when we supposed to be brothers, my brother? We supposed to. I have nothing against Caribbeans. Yo, we supposed to be together.
Because I think
no, man. That's not. Why you think Tariq is calling you a tether? Because you're going against us, man. You have people that's hating against us. You have people that's hating. You have people hating against us. And they should feel happy for us that we're getting together now and we're trying to do something for ourselves as a community. You should be happy about that. You shouldn't be.
What are you doing as a community that immigrants are trying to have you not do?
We are trying to get what we've been asking for hundreds of years, man. We want restitution for our. We want reparations, okay? We want reparations. Not only that, hold on. Not only that. That's not all. We want to be called FBA now. We don't want to be called African American. We don't want to be called Black American. We want to be called FBA. That's the name that we deserve, not the name they want us to have. Because all the other names, we didn't pick those names. We want a name that we want, that we desire, that we like, and we like that name. Now, a lot of people have a problem with that because it's not what the white man designates us. Okay, the white man always
do any Black Americans have a problem with that name?
I'm not going to say all of them.
I'm not going to say Americans agree that y'all should now be called foundational Black Americans, or are there Black Americans out there who are just against the idea of FBA as I am?
Okay, well, hold on. Well, first of all, hold on. FBA, first of all, what we call ourselves as a people, okay? What we call ourselves as a people, nobody should have nothing to say or have anything or discrepancy about. Because guess what? That's the name we want to call ourselves.
That don't consider themselves that. What about the Black Americans that don't consider themselves that? Can they say, yo, that's not me? And do you think that's not done? Like, what do you say to Black Americans who just say, look, I'm just an African American. I don't think we're foundational. That is ridiculous. Y'all doing a little too much. It's insulting. Like, what do you say to Black Americans who feel that way? Do you consider them to be tethers as well?
Well, hold on. No, they're not tethers. They still FBA.
What are they?
They still FBA. Okay, hold on. Listen, you got to understand the definition of FBA. You, in order to be looked at as FBA, okay, you have to have a lineage that traces back to the freedmen of the United States. You
That's
have
the
to
definition
have.
of Black American. That was the definition of African American all along. It's always
Okay.
been like that's
Okay.
not new. So
Okay.
what is this new thing? It's not new. So if I
That's
if I
what
don't
we want to
if I'm a
call
Black
ourselves.
American,
What's the problem?
hold on,
That's what we want to call ourselves. That's what we want to call ourselves. What's the problem?
I'm an African American. If I'm an African American, I already think that I have lineage here and that I have slave lineage in America. Calling
No.
myself foundational.
Hold on.
doesn't
Where's
add
your
up to
family from?
that.
Where's your family from? Where's your family from?
I just told you, I'm Jamaican.
Okay, so then you don't have lineage to this country. Your lineage goes in Jamaica. It's the Jamaican Islands. That's where your lineage comes from, my brother. Why people have to see? That's why we got to delineate, because everybody could be called African American.
African American was already delineating. Black people who call themselves Black Americans already knew they were talking about their slave ancestry. Calling yourself foundational doesn't now foundational Black American. You're acting as if when Black Americans call themselves Black Americans, they didn't mean, oh, I'm an American and I have slave ancestry. That's what it's always meant. That's
everybody
what
has slave. Yo, everybody has slave ancestry. Jamaicans have slave ancestry in Jamaica. Puerto Ricans have slave ancestry in Puerto Rico. Dominicans have
slave ancestry in America.
Okay, then. So what's there not to understand? What's so hard to understand about that?
What we don't understand is this foundational thing. What does that mean?
Damn, my brother. Foundational, man. Foundational means that, listen, you
want to know what foundational means to me?
You have to really go back to your history, man, to understand what we're talking about.
What foundational means to me is that I'm a tether. I'm a leech. That's what it means.
No, man, you're not that. You look at yourself as that? I'm asking, you look at yourself. You look at yourself like that?
No, that's how you.
Okay, then. So why do you have why are you putting yourself in that category? If you're not a tether, don't even worry about that. It don't apply to you. It don't apply to you. It applies to people who's supposed to be our brothers.
Why are you insulted by my video? If it don't apply to you, it don't apply to you.
Because I'm FBA. And I don't like, saying how you are categorized and looking at us as FBA. Now you're trying to say, okay, another thing, you trying to say that hip hop is Jamaican? Come on, dog. You trying to say hip hop is Jamaican? Jamaicans created hip hop? I'm asking you a question.
What I said was Kool Herc.
Okay, Kool Herc. Okay, let me explain to you about Kool Herc, okay?
Africa Bambaataa was a Jamaican, right? So
he wasn't Jamaican. He was from his people from.
Let me say this: the two main people. When we talk about the history and creation of hip hop, if there are two names that's going to be mentioned more than anyone else's, it's Kool Herc and Africa Bambaataa. That's a fact, and both of them happen to be Jamaican. When we talk about
guess what?
When we talk about the greatest of all time in terms of hip hop, who must be in that conversation is Biggie Smalls. I may not even agree that he's the GOAT, but he's definitely in the conversation, and he's a Jamaican. And when we talk about the teacher, KRS-One is also a Jamaican, also has Jamaican background. So y'all cannot, the greatest influences in hip hop are Jamaican influences.
That's incidental, brother. That's incidental.
Incidental, my ass.
Incidental. You know why? All the people, all the pioneers have said that is incidental to the creation of hip hop, that Kool Herc is looked at as the father. Okay, because when Kool Herc first came to this country, he did not know anything about Black culture. When he came to the Bronx, it was Black American, Puerto Ricans, and he had to learn the culture of America. And the culture of the Bronx at that time was Black American culture that was being exuded on the streets. Yes, you had Puerto Ricans. Yes, you had other groups there. But guess what? They were following our traditions, the way we talk, Ebonics.
No, they weren't.
I mean, street talk. The street talk they were talking was Ebonics. They were following our music. They were following our music, Black American music. Okay, without Black American music, hip hop does not even come nowhere near. Because guess what? They weren't playing calypso. They weren't playing reggae in early hip hop, my brother. They were playing funk, soul, R&B, and disco, and that's all Black American art forms. Okay, they were following Black American culture.
Hey, y'all, we got 30 people watching, a little over 30 people watching, and a little less than 10 likes. So let's get those likes up to 10 and we'll open the panel. You know, y'all are here to hit the link. I know, I understand. I want to speak with you as well. But, you know, hit the like, and we open the panel. Hit the like, and I drop the link. Only 3 more to go. Let's go. All right, y'all. Let's hit the like button.
At that time, the civil rights movement just ended. Black power movement was going full force. You had riots in the streets of the country. You had black culture being exuded all through the country. Not Jamaican culture, not Puerto Rican culture, Black American culture, because of the times. Okay, you always got to look at what was going on at the time. Okay, and what was going on at the time was Jackson 5. You look on the TV, you got Soul Train. You look at all this. Everybody who was influenced by hip hop in the early goings always talk about Soul Train. They talk about looking at how they were dancing, how those brothers were dancing. They used those moves and put them in the street. Then you had the disco scene. Black Americans create disco. All the brothers out of Philly, all the brothers out of Ohio, all the brothers, I'm talking about all the brothers from these different countries across the different cities across the country were doing stuff that created hip hop. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You always gotta look at, just like if we go to your country, we go to your island right now, right? And we go into your island and we are trying to get acclimated to the culture of that island. You think it's gonna be Black American culture that's gonna be exuded there? Or do you think it's gonna be Jamaican culture? Because it's Jamaica. Okay, we're not gonna be trying to say that we created no calypso or no damn reggae, because that's not our culture, and we know that. Black Americans, FBA, we know that. We're not trying to take that, but guess what?
All right. So if you move to Jamaica and stay there, you're going to be adding to the culture. You're not just going to adopt Jamaican culture. You're going to add to it as well. Like it's as if people don't understand how culture works. What was going on in the Bronx? Everybody, the Caribbean people that were in the Bronx at that time in the early 70s, the Caribbean people, the Jamaicans, the Puerto Ricans, some white people, the African Americans.
No. Stop saying white. Stop saying white. Stop saying white. Stop saying white.
Bro, if you're gonna say disco, you have to say white people.
No.
Disco
white
culture. Let me tell you.
Oh my God.
Disco music may have started with black people, but disco culture is more white people culture than anything else.
Oh, my brother, you misinformed. You misinformed.
People made disco music a genre. White people did.
You misinformed, my brother. You misinformed.
You see that? Let me say this. The way culture works, somebody doesn't, Jamaicans don't just move to the Bronx and then just start acting like Black Americans do. That's not how culture works. Culture, everybody is adding to the, let me finish, Isaiah. Isaiah, let me finish. Everybody adds to the culture and everybody is feeding off of each other. There's no such thing. This idea in your head of, oh, they just came in and started doing black people stuff. That's ridiculous. Black people in the Bronx were copying Puerto Ricans and how Puerto Ricans did.
No, we weren't. We were not copying Puerto Ricans. We were not copying Puerto Ricans, brother.
Jamaicans.
No, we was not.
Everybody was feeding off
This is this clown, bro. Why are we even talking about this? It's crazy. This is
Hey,
this
my bad,
clown.
Derek. I'm having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me, Derek?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, my
Can you
bad,
hear me?
Derek. I'm having some technical difficulties. Derek, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
We
me?
hear you. You got an echo, bro.
Oh, no problem. Hold on.
Hang on a second. Hey, am I still echoing?
Nah, you
No,
good.
not to me.
Go ahead.
All right. Peace. Derek, I'll let you in first. I'll let you go first.
Oh, no. First, I wanted to apologize for the young man who was just speaking before because he was talking some rather rubbish. That's
The
not
young
what
man in the
happened here.
recording, or the young man in the recording, or
Yeah, what you guys were just listening to
oh, okay.
about the white man became, was the face of disco and all of that. That's true, but not true.
So it's half
It's
rubbish.
true because what I'm saying is the white people became the face of everything American. The face of everything American.
Except degeneracy in hip hop, bro.
Exactly. But they became the face of everything American. But they're classified as United States citizens who are born in America. So they bit something that was already existing. This is what I'm starting to really understand. They're not American at all. All they did was bite the brand. Because American is a nationality and a brand.
Who are you saying isn't American? White folks?
No, they're classified as United States citizens.
So they're not American. You're saying I'm trying to follow what
How
you're
can,
saying, Derek. I'm
think
trying to
about
follow
this.
what you're saying.
Okay, think about this. How can a German become an American? How can an American become a German? Your blood is your blood. Who you are is who you are. You can go there and live there, but you never become that.
I mean, if
Okay,
if you
let's.
move to Germany and become a citizen of Germany, you're kind of technically a German.
But you're
As
still
long as you have
you're
citizenship,
you're.
you're.
That's by paperwork, and people are replacing paperwork for blood.
But
I don't know
nationality
about I don't know about that at all. I
is
think I think that paperwork is going to
See,
be more
okay,
valued than any type of blood anywhere. I don't
hold
think.
on.
are we
I
talking
think I
about
think the
Hold
paper?
on,
paperwork
You have
matters. I
to.
think paperwork
Derek.
matters,
Explain
Derek.
that, Derek. What you mean
Yes,
is they are not ethnically American. They have U.S.
right,
citizenship, but they are not ethnically American.
right. You'll never be
Well,
American.
what is ethnically American? What this
That
brother
means
Yeah,
you're
is
here.
I,
Okay,
because
let me
I
explain.
ethnicity
can
and
answer that, brother.
nationality
How
and
about
race
this?
are all
Yeah,
different
let me answer
concepts.
that, brother. I can answer that
Let
very
me
briefly.
explain.
Well, let me answer this question with one
Yeah,
sentence.
hang on, Derek.
Okay,
Let's since Pan brought up the idea of ethnically American. Let's have him
Yes,
go
explain
ahead.
what that is.
very briefly. If your family was not in the U.S. by 1776, you are not ethnically American. You are not foundational to the United States if your ancestors were not in the United States when the United States was founded. Simple concept.
That makes zero sense though,
Well,
because
what part doesn't make sense, brother? Please tell me.
okay, because you said that. So anybody who came, let's say in the early 1800s, they're not ethnically American because ethnic does derive also from culture. So the people who came, let's say somebody who came from maybe the last slave ships in the early 1800s, 1802, they're not ethnically American because they
Yeah, let
came
me
from
I'm
answer his
sorry.
England
I'm
to the
question.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Caribbean.
Hang on. Who's speaking?
This
Who's
is
asking
Black
that
American
question?
Key. This is Black American King.
Black
Yeah,
American King. Respect. Good
Yes.
question.
yeah, Black American King.
Yes, sir.
And I'll answer it with one sentence because I want to have a dialogue with you. So please reduce your
Sure.
response to one or two sentences. If your family was not here in 1776, that means your family immigrated to a country that was already created. So no, you are not foundational to the United States.
So to me, my response would be that that would not make you ethnically American just because you were forcibly brought to the U.S. You could have. What if you were
Yeah,
forcibly
yeah.
brought here for
If I
one,
can, Black King,
and then
it sounded like Pan just changed the conversation
right, and then
from ethnically American to
yeah,
foundational. He kind of
foundational.
switched. He's
100%.
switching up on you.
No, it's the same
Go
thing,
Ethnicity,
ahead. Go
no,
literally.
ahead,
it's
Black
not.
It's the
King.
same thing.
Ethnicity also, that's a convoluted conversation. Ethnicity also derives from culture. Generally, you differentiate people based on their culture, and that's how you define ethnicity, typically by a series of your languages, a shared culture, language. Uh, um,
And lineage, right? Culture, language, and lineage, correct?
so let's just say even a shared lineage that we can
All
that's
right.
acceptable. That's acceptable. But a shared lineage doesn't start with the date of
So you,
1776. A
you heard
shared
what I just
lineage,
said.
a departure. But hold on, you said that you gave a date, a specific date to where a shared lineage
That's the
starts
creation
at
of
the
the United
beginning.
States, 1776. Yes,
Oh,
that's the date I
okay.
give.
But you're saying the date of departure is 1776 when the date of creation could be first. You could have a
No, no,
shared
that's not what
lineage
I
with
said.
somebody.
Well, one might get a time. No, and with all due respect, I think you're confused. What I'm saying is the United States of America was founded in 1776. If
Sure.
your lineage, if your lineage was not in the U.S. at that time, you are not ethnically American. You may be a U.S. citizen, but ethnically, lineage-wise, you are not ethnically
That doesn't
American.
make
No, you're
sense
not.
though.
Well,
Again,
what
you're
part are you
saying
confused about?
because you're saying that like the ethnicity started there. You can still share in that ethnicity after 1776 if you guys share that same lineage at 1806. It doesn't start. You didn't have to be there foundationally at 1776 for
Well,
it to
let's have a
start
dialogue.
in
I'm
that
asking the
particular
question.
time.
Let's have a dialogue.
You
If
can
your
still have to
family,
share values at that time. Share
but you don't have a
language,
shared
share
lineage though.
culture.
You don't have the
What
shared
do you?
lineage though,
Yeah,
brother.
you could have the same shared lineage. What do you mean?
How?
Why does it have to start at 1776 if I came
Because
in
that's the creation. Well,
1802?
brother, let's not talk past each other. What I'm saying is, if you have some ancestors that came after 1776 and they procreated with people whose ancestors were here before 1776, then you're
Uh-huh.
blooded in. But if your ancestors,
Okay.
none of them were here prior to 1776, the founding of the nation, no, you're not ethnically American. You're not a foundational American at all. Foundational means you were here at
We're
the founding.
foundational. Yeah, foundational does, but we're talking
Yeah,
ethnicity.
exactly. Okay.
But we're not talking
Now,
about
That's exactly
ethnicity.
what we're
but now
talking about, brother.
if you can understand legally today, what is the pathway for, let's say, a Chinese man? He comes from China to here. What is his? When does he become an American?
Are you saying citizenship wise? Because he can never be ethnically American.
You have to.
So
There's a pathway.
okay.
See, you got to
So
hold on. Let me finish.
the
Look,
majority of
look,
whites
look.
aren't ethnically American then.
Exactly. Hold on. The brother just
Hold
made a
on.
great point.
Listen.
And I wanted to
And,
Just listen.
hold
and,
Why?
on. No, he
and
made a
you're
good point.
and
Let's
you're
not speed
Listen.
past what he said.
Listen. Why?
Derek, hold on. Derek, hold on. He just made a great point that we need to highlight. And I brought it up last time I spoke to Jamaican Dream. Most Caucasians in the US are not descendants of the founders of the US. They are white tethers. To address Jamaican Dream's point earlier, yes, there are definitely white tethers. Really. Tether is not a
The,
racially
Hey,
specific term.
Pan,
okay. Can
Pan,
we
Pan.
explain the
Hang
reason
on a second.
why
Hang on a
though?
second. Hang on a second. Hang on. Pan, Pan Mulatto. Pan Mulattoism. I have a lot of names I could call you, right? But if you choose to call me out of my name, I'm either gonna call you out your name or remove you from the panel.
I didn't even
Okay?
call you any names. What name did I call you, brother?
My name is American Dream.
You're being sensitive. Are you not Jamaican?
I'm gonna tell you one more time. You call me out my name, I'm gonna either call you out your name, which I don't want to do, or I'm gonna remove you
Uh-huh.
from the panel. I don't really want to have a discussion
Well, I'm not
about it.
arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you at all. Are you not
All right, good,
Jamaican? Just so
good.
I'm clear. Are you
No,
not
I don't
Jamaican?
want to have that conversation. Yes, but my name is American
Okay, so
Dream.
I called you
But my
Jamaican,
name is
brother. I'm not
American.
insulting you,
My name is American Dream, and
brother.
that's
You're
the last time I'm
Jamaican.
going
I'm
to say
addressing
it.
you as a Jamaican, just like I'm
Well,
American.
I said what I have to say.
I said what I said,
Derek.
brother. We can move forward.
You're
All
both
right,
American.
let's move forward.
Stop the bull. Jamaica is an island off of the continent of America. What are you talking about? We are all Americans. This is the problem. You guys don't know basic civics. Basic civics, where you will understand
That's
that
geography,
an
brother.
American is a nationality. The United States citizenship as a whole is a status granted to immigrants as a whole. Period.
I thought we were talking about hip
That's
hop.
why
I'm still
United
figuring out.
States citizens can only be United States citizens born in America. That would mean their father had to be a citizen first. Their son can be called an American. Period.
Hey,
And
let me
their
ask.
descendants, they're all descendants of United States citizens. All of them, legally, till today. You are
Hang
the
on a second,
only ones
Derek.
born American.
All right, let me
In
ask Pan.
Jamaica,
Derek, hang on a second. I want to ask Pan mulattoism since he brought up the idea of ethnic, ethnic citizenship. I think it is that
Ethnic
what he
U.S.
called it?
Americans, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, what rights do you have as an ethnic U.S. citizen that a non-ethnic U.S. citizen does not have? Or to rephrase the question, what right do you recommend that ethnic U.S. citizens have that other U.S. citizens shouldn't have?
Yes, and I'm glad you asked me that.
Those are two questions. What
Exactly.
right
Let
do
me
you
answer that.
have? Those are two questions. What right
Yeah,
do you
let me
have
answer
that
that.
other citizens don't?
Uh
And
huh.
what right? And if you can't think of any, which right do you recommend y'all have that
Exactly. And
nobody else has?
let me respond. It'll be brief. And actually, I'm glad you brought this up. Now, I never claimed that ethnic U.S. Americans have rights that naturalized Americans or descendants of immigrants have in the U.S. But if you ask me my recommendation, and really, this is a great question, I recommend that we create legislation that only ethnic U.S. Americans, that is, descendants of the founders of the U.S., be able to be in law enforcement, have government jobs, attain positions within politics, such as the president, mayor, city council, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
How would that
good
work?
point.
Considering
But
Okay.
that's
now the question
Good
go
would
luck
ahead.
with
be,
that.
the
Yes, we're
question
trying.
would
We're
be,
trying.
So,
the
Yes.
Yeah,
actual
And
yeah.
and
question,
I want
I
to
mean,
return the question to
hold
the
on. Let me
host.
ask you a question. No, another question, Pan.
Uh
Um,
huh.
along with is that a bill that you guys are working on along with the reparations bill that's going through
All right.
Congress? Is that something that y'all plan on taking to Congress as well?
Yes, and I'll answer that. And when I answer, can I return the question as well, respectfully?
Sure thing.
All right. Definitely, that's legislation that we're working on right now. Now, my subsequent question to you, and I appreciate you allowing me to ask you a question, host. And I asked you this before, but with all due respect, you attempted to deflect. My question is, given the fact that you have island nations such as Japan and Singapore, for example, that have a higher standard of living than the US, my question is, how can you be proud to have abandoned Jamaica instead of staying in Jamaica to reduce the brain drain and to build a Jamaica that is more feasible and has a higher quality of living than the US, than Japan, than South Korea, than Singapore, etc.?
I think it's for the same reason that a lot of FBA people left the South, and a lot of those southern cities that they left are pretty much in ruins. Cities like Baltimore, for example. Like if you remember, the worst cities in America. It's possible that the worst cities in America are run by FBA and have a majority FBA people. So for the same reason, and a lot of the people that left the South and came up north, they refuse to go back down south and fix up the place. So for that same reason.
And then let me respond. Are you familiar with the reverse
let
migration
me
that's taking place right now?
that.
Hold on, let me have a dialogue with the host. Are you familiar with the reverse migration right now where you have literally thousands of FBAs moving back to the South?
Yeah, I am aware of that, but apparently the reason they're moving back is because it got fixed up. They're not moving back to fix it up.
But
They're
you agree
moving
that they're
back
moving.
because but it
But you
doesn't
agree that
address the
they've moved
question
back,
I'm
correct?
asking you. They're not moving back. So there are
Uh huh.
also a lot of Jamaicans that move back home. A lot of
No.
Jamaicans, they come
Uh
here,
huh.
they do what they send their money home, build their homes, and then move back.
First of all,
So,
they got
But
ran
hold
out
on,
the
hold on, hold on,
south.
hold on, hold
it
on. Let
is
me
what
ask
it
you.
is.
But the host, hold on, host. The question is: are there more Jamaicans leaving Jamaica right now, or is it more Jamaicans returning back to Jamaica right now? Let's have that honest dialogue.
Shared goal.
Checkmate.
It's likely that there are more Jamaicans leaving every year
All
than
right.
going back home.
So, do you remember my initial question?
Okay,
Why are you proud to have left instead of returning back to your country to build it into a great nation that it actually could be? It could be better than Singapore. It
Because,
could be
well,
better than Japan. But instead, you're in
because
the
like I
U.S.
said to you,
You're booty
because
clapping for
like I,
whites in the U.S.
because like I said to you yesterday,
Uh huh.
because it looks like you can't help but be rude. Is that an FB? Is that a
Brother,
Majora
you're being
thing?
rude to me.
Is that a
You're
part
being
of
rude
your
to me.
Majora spirit being rude? I
Well,
wasn't
brother,
rude
I'm a
to you.
mulatto. Your
I
grandkids will be
wasn't rude
mulattoes
to
like
you.
me.
I wasn't rude to you. It
All right, but
seems as
let's
if
have
a
a.
part of your Majora spirit is
Uh
being
huh.
rude, pan mulattoism.
Are you ready to get back to
Relax,
the dialogue, though, brother?
relax.
I'm asking. Yeah, let's
Like
have the dialogue. Why won't
you
you go
keep
back to
you
Jamaica?
keep swaying from the dialogue by being rude.
I'm waiting for the answer. I'll mute up. Go ahead.
Mr. American Dream.
No,
Yes,
no,
sir.
let
Go
him
Can
ahead.
we
answer.
have
Let
a
the host
dialogue?
answer. Why are you not back in Jamaica fixing your country? Simple question.
That that
Like I
that
said
that
to
is
you,
his
yes, hold
free
on. Let me
right.
answer
He's
his
an
let me answer his
Yeah,
American.
silly
let him answer
question.
that.
Let me
Let him
answer
answer
his
that.
silly
Let's answer that.
question because I answered it yesterday. He seems to have forgotten. Like I said, Jamaicans that leave Jamaica
Uh
add
huh.
more to the GDP of Jamaica than the Jamaicans that stay.
So you're dependent on
So,
the white dollar in the U.S. I get it. You're dependent
sir,
on the Canadian
sir,
dollar. You're
so are
dependent on
you.
the British pound. Oh, I
Aren't
get
you
it.
here for aren't you here for the for the white
We're
man's
from
dollar?
here. Checkmate. My ancestors
But it's the
founded
white
the
man's
U.S.
Sir,
dollar.
Checkmate.
But
sir,
you're only here
hold
My
because
hold
my
on.
because of the
ancestors
white
are white.
man's
I'm a
dollar.
mulatto. Hold on. Let me have the dialogue. My ancestors are white.
Oh,
Checkmate.
so you're
I'm a
not
mulatto.
foundation. So you're
Checkmate.
not a foundational black.
I'm a foundational
You're a
mulatto.
foundational
Yes, I'm a
mulatto.
foundational mulatto American. Yes. So that your tricks don't work
Okay.
on me. So I'm asking you.
Okay.
I answered your question
Congratulations.
Oh,
directly. Now answer mine. Why aren't you in Jamaica building your country up with your own means? Why are you dependent on the white man's dollar? Take the
Wait,
white
my
man dick
labor
out your
here.
mouth.
My labor.
what?
Okay. Have a
Uh
nice
huh.
day, buddy.
Do the
Sir,
Have
you
a
labor in
don't
nice
even have
Jamaica.
day.
to answer that.
Have
Why
a
you
That's a
don't
nice
do the
dumb
day.
question.
labor in Jamaica?
That's a dumb question.
All right, Derek.
That's a
What's your
dumb
question?
and it that's a dumb and ignorant question on him
Yeah,
as a
pan
mulatto.
mulattoism can't. He can't.
Because
He
all
can't
right,
help
sir.
but be ignorant.
Okay, this is the
I
thing.
think it's the
All
mulatto. I
right.
think it's the mulatto side of him.
Well, it's the mulatto side, and he's been indoctrinated.
Yeah, I
Period.
think he's trying. I think he's trying. I think
All right.
because he's mixed with white people, I think he's trying really hard to be down with black people. So he's trying really, really hard to go with this FBA thing.
No, he plays
Um,
both sides of the
but
fence. Trust me, I've seen him on other
Well,
channels. He will
okay.
play both sides and still be
All I'm
right.
who's
saying is
that?
to
Who is that?
you.
Who's that was just speaking?
That's Black American King.
Black Black American King. Oh, you sounded like someone else for a second there.
Yeah, no.
Um, go ahead, Derek.
All I was saying was, if we, even Black American, Black foundational Black American, let's start with the foundational part first. Let's talk about the foundation of America, because the United States of America does have a foundational time, and it's 1865. It's not 1776. Period.
Especially not for
All
us.
right. Now, 1865 is real prevalent because this is when everybody became the same. The 14th Amendment,
On
because
paper.
all of us are federal
Somewhat.
citizens. Now, the question is, how did the people in the South, right, as a whole, become, they went from state citizens to federal citizens? Now, they've always told you that the people in the South were the slaves, but now they're telling you that the people in the South also had states' rights. So, how did the slave have rights to become changed from state citizen to federal citizen if they were slaves in the way that we were taught? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, the thing is, everybody today is a federal citizen, no matter what your race is. Now, federal citizenship does not give you all the constitutional rights of a state citizenship. Why is that? Because now from 1865 till today, we can see what happens with the Negro or the American Indian, as you call it, because American Indian or American Negro is the same people. Why? Because they're both American. Period. Think about that. You've never been written as a United States citizen until 1967. And if you look up the documents of the 14th Amendment, it came up three times in history. 1925, when immigration really kicked off the first time. 1967, when immigration kicked off again. And now, when immigration is kicking off, we're going through the same play, y'all. We're just spinning our own buttons because we don't get to play. The play is, why did the American citizen, which is the American Indian, why was he forced to become a federal citizen? Because you have more constitutional rights as a state citizen. Think about it,
Okay.
y'all.
Okay. So Derek, let me ask you this because I'm a little confused on the topic today. So are you saying that black people are American Indian? Is that where we're going with this? Or
Black people are American by nationality, no matter what
okay, I see.
heritage they have.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because Indian is just simply a heritage of a people.
Okay.
And
Are we talking about
the reason why you could tie Indian to their heritage is look at the food the people in the South eat.
yeah, I'm not Indian though. I don't
I'm just
claim.
telling you. I'm just
Okay.
looking at it. I can tell you. Okay, well, how about this? Where was your grandmother born?
Mississippi.
Okay. Do you eat sweet potato pie?
Yeah.
Does anybody in your family cook sweet potato pie?
Sure.
Like your grandmother, your mama?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Did you know
Yeah.
sweet potato pie is indigenous to America?
Sure it is. I'm sure I do. We do eat foods
Okay.
that
So
there's
now, if your
some
food
cultural
that you
connections
eat
there.
is
Mhm.
indigenous to this land, wouldn't
Yeah.
that make you indigenous?
No.
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 Somehow,
Just
some
because
way,
I'm
you
in.
came here.
So if I
But
travel to,
now,
let's
all right,
say,
if you came here, think about this. If somebody
Hang
brought
on,
you
hang
here,
on, hang
how
on,
come they can't
Derek,
make you leave?
Derek. If you're gonna
Yes,
ask
sir.
him a question, let him respond.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just
Sorry
saying,
about
just
that.
because if I, so just because my aunt, like for instance,
Uh huh.
for me, yes, my family, we've been here for, it could be anywhere from 400 to 250 plus years, right? Because Africans were
Right,
brought
right.
here throughout the middle of the 1800s. Everybody's ancestors weren't brought here 400 or 500 years ago. The transatlantic slave trade stopped sometimes
In
some as late as
1808.
1808 and even longer
Yes.
because of the legal transporting and the intercontinental slave trade from the
Right.
Caribbean also
That's
here.
correct.
So none of us know exactly. I traced my lineage as far as back to I think it was like the early mid 1800s, as far as back as
Okay.
I know. But in
Uh huh.
terms of my paternal DNA, I've done African ancestry DNA, so a lot of
Hmm.
that came through the line of Burkina Faso. I did a
Right.
maternal DNA test as
Right.
well, and I've done a lineage test. So my family goes back to Oklahoma, Texas, Virginia, and Mississippi.
Okay.
Yes, we share the same foods. Just because I'm on, let's say there were Africans who were owned by, of course, Native Americans. They've shared foods, they have shared culture. That doesn't necessarily mean that the people are
Okay.
indigenous to the land just because we had shared
Okay.
customs and shared ethnicity, like that brother was talking about. That's we could
Okay.
have spoke the same language, had the same religious values. That doesn't mean that I'm indigenous to that particular place.
Okay. 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 Can I say
Yeah,
something?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now you were saying Africa. All right. Let's keep it to the sweet potato pie, right?
Okay, yes.
Now, if you understand that the sweet potato is indigenous to America,
Yes, sure.
cultivated by the Indians for 5,000 years.
And I understand that
Now,
yams were also indigenous to Africa.
there's something called a yam, and it's indigenous to Africa.
Yes.
Now, the yam and the sweet potato are two different things, completely.
Hmm.
So now today, can you understand that the yam can never make sweet potato pie? Never
Sure.
has and never will.
Okay.
So now all the people that make sweet potato pie today look like you, your mama, your grandmama. Now, If that's the case, if you got it from anybody else, it would be the Native Americans. Now, ask yourself
Okay.
this question: have you ever seen a Native American make a sweet potato pie?
No.
Exactly. So that means that they're not
Wait,
the
So
what's your
Native
point,
Americans.
Derek? Derek,
I
what's your
don't
point?
understand that. I don't.
Derek,
What is
what's your
it? What does
point?
any of this have to
You
do with
don't
me
you
and my
don't see the
ancestors being
point.
indigenous to
No, what is your
America?
point?
I
Okay.
Let's
don't.
just
Now,
make
okay,
your point clear.
okay. The if the sweet potato pie is indigenous to America
Okay.
and it's
Yes.
only grown here and cultivated here
Sure.
by the people here, and
Hmm.
the only people who make this pie from this particular crop
Okay.
are the same people that you say are slaves. No
Okay.
other people on this land make this as a people.
Okay.
So how can these people be from somewhere else?
What just okay, let me answer your question, right? Because we share customs when you're at a particular place. Let's say I was
Uh-huh.
enslaved by people and we share
Right.
customs. Right now, I'm not from Germany, but I eat hamburgers and they come from Germany, right? A hamburger.
Okay, but
I'm not from
ground beef
France.
comes from America.
Hold on. But hold on. Hamburgers, the customs, just like spaghetti, comes from Italy. Just like French fries come from
Tomatoes
France.
come from
Hold on.
America.
Hold on. Okay, but it doesn't matter where the food is. We're talking about the customs, where the food is made and produced. It doesn't matter where the individual food comes.
Here.
It's the fact that it's the customs that we're sharing. Just because I eat Native American foods, let's say like a tacos. I'm in LA right now. I eat a lot of tacos and burritos. That doesn't make me indigenous to Mexico. I'm sharing something a part of a custom. I mean, I'm sharing in customs that are
Okay.
indigenous to this part of the earth. That doesn't mean that my
Okay.
ancestors are indigenous to this land because we share similar customs. The people that where I reside that they share. That
Okay.
doesn't mean that I'm indigenous to America because I eat sweet
Okay.
potatoes and Native Americans eat them also because I'm in
Hold, hold,
Mississippi.
hold, hold
I
on.
mean,
When have you
also.
Hang
ever
on, no,
seen?
hang on, Derek.
I
Yes,
also
sir.
eat gumbo, and gumbo is an
Go.
African dish.
No, it's
Also,
not.
yes, it is.
No,
That
it's not.
okra and gumbo is a
Okra don't go in
creation.
gumbo.
Hold on,
I'm from New Orleans.
hold on. I'm telling you two different dishes. I didn't say that okra goes in the gumbo. I'm Black American. I know that, right? I'm telling you that okra is an African dish. I said gumbo is produced. If you're from New Orleans, right?
I'm from New Orleans.
Gumbo has its origin in West Africa. You
No, it
may
doesn't.
disagree. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I
I can
disagree.
prove it.
Okay, what's fine. We can go down that route. What I'm trying to say is
Prove.
this,
Okay.
right?
Do you know what
But hold on,
sassafras is?
hold on. We'll go
Do
down.
you? Do
We'll
you?
no, I don't.
Okay, you don't.
Sassafras, I
So,
don't. I don't.
do you ever heard of gumbo filet?
But let's just stay on the topic though, right?
Have you
Because
ever heard of gumbo filet, sir?
okay,
You
let's.
said gumbo was indigenous to Africa, and
I
I'm
said
about to prove it to you that it's not.
I believe that. Let's say for the argument that it's not right because that's not my
It's an
general argument.
indigenous Indian recipe.
Okay, fine, sure. I'm not trying to die on that hill. Is
You're
what I'm
not gonna
trying
let
to
me
say.
prove it?
I have a bigger point, is what I'm saying, because that's not my
Okay, what's your
point.
bigger point,
My
sir?
bigger point is that just because we share in dishes here, that doesn't make my
Uh huh.
ancestry indigenous to this particular part of this
Okay.
place or land. Just because I
All
eat the
right.
food here is not proving that
Mm-hmm.
my people are or my ancestors are indigenous to this particular part of the world because I share in those customs. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That's my overall
Okay.
arching point. That's what I'm
All
saying.
right. Now let
Yeah,
me break down your point, sir, if you don't mind.
sure.
Okay. First of all, if a sweet potato is made to make sweet potato pies, and everything in the ingredients to make sweet potatoes is all American, butter, sugar, cinnamon, all that is indigenous to this land. You're the only people on this land that make it as a people.
Wait
So
a minute. What
you're
you trying to
saying
say?
that
We're
we're
the
paying
only people.
homage. Hold on. Well, you're saying that we're paying
We're the only
homage
people
to
who make
another
it.
people, huh?
You saying so you're saying Black Americans are the only people on this land that make sweet
Make
potato
it as a
pie.
people. Make it as a people. Yes, as a
I
people
disagree with that.
daily.
They
Name
man,
another.
they got white people make
Name
sweet
another
potato
group
pie.
of people that makes a sweet potato.
White people. I know some Hispanics and white here on the West Coast that make sweet potato pie, bro.
Right, and they
White
came
people
here.
and Mexicans make sweet potato pie
They
while out
came
here.
here,
Huh?
and everybody who came here learned to make sweet potato pie. But your
What?
people never
What?
learned. Okay, Tell me
What does
the
that have
group
to
of
do with
people
our
that hold
ancestry?
on,
Talk about the
hold on.
ancestry.
Let me talk. Let me show you. Your grandmother, you know
She
for a
ain't a
fact,
Native
makes sweet
American,
potato
that's for
pie,
sure.
right? Hold on. Your grandmother makes sweet potato pie. You sure of that? Have you seen it, or you just know that because it's a family
I
recipe?
know that we eat it.
Okay,
I
so
never
you
seen her make it from scratch. Never.
okay, but you know that it's in your
We just
family,
eat it. We just eat it.
right?
Sure.
So your grandmother, you
Derek,
would think,
Derek,
okay,
Derek, hang on, Derek.
just
Are you saying,
let me. Yes,
Derek, are you
I'm
yes.
saying you
saying
guys
because
are
we eat this.
foundational? Are you saying y'all are foundational because y'all make sweet potato pie?
That's what it
No,
sounds like.
that's not the no, no. I'm saying we're foundational for the simple fact that
What does that mean?
we're the only Americans.
Okay.
Everyone else is a U.S. citizen,
Not
born in America.
yeah.
Black American King, you don't
Okay,
identify as FBA?
I don't subscribe to the rhetoric of FBA.
no,
I'm
I
black
don't either.
American.
I
Why
don't
not?
do that either.
No,
Because I don't
interested.
because I feel
Black
like
American, why
it's
not?
highly disrespectful. It's divisive. I'm
Why do you think it's disrespectful?
I'm all for empowering our lineage. I'm more about I do believe that we should make a distinction for our lineage and celebrate our lineage. I'm all for that for sure. I think Black Americans are the most unique group of people in the Black diaspora. We have our own uniqueness. Everybody has their own uniqueness. We're not better than anybody, but what has been attached to FBA now, the online, the sort of kind of anti, it's turned into to me devolved into like more of a more divisive. It's just more. It's
Can I
not
just say something
building.
real quick?
It's not
Let me just say,
empowering.
Yes,
just the idea of most unique, that idea sounds kind of silly to me. Like it just doesn't make sense. If everyone is unique, to say someone is the most
You're
unique,
right. You're right. Let me take that back.
it's just a
I take
silly
that back.
idea. It doesn't make
Let
sense
me
to me.
let me take that back. Let me take that back. I'm gonna say that we're unique in our
we're
own
the
way.
most
You know what?
American.
You're right. You're right. Maybe I said it the wrong way. We're very unique in our own way. I'm gonna say that because I did come
Yeah, and
off
I
wrong.
think the reason you want to
I
say
think that
most unique, I think the reason you
I
want to
wouldn't
say
say
most
unique.
unique is because you want to say y'all are special somehow, and
Well,
you may be falling into the being disrespectful realm when you do that, and I'm hoping you don't want to do that.
I agree with that. Okay, that
Okay,
was a miss.
can I?
I did. I think I misuse that term. I don't want to say most unique. I'm gonna say we're unique in our own way. I do also feel that we have been universally disrespected, but I think I don't want to answer it back with disrespect, but I do believe that we are disrespectful also. So I'm not trying to play the blame game, but I do feel like a lot of people have taken advantage of our
Let me ask you
niceness,
this question,
but I believe we have
Black
become
American.
sure.
Let me ask you this: the what Pan Mulattoism was talking about, his recommendation. He said he wanted to recommend where no, all cities they only hire ethnic American FB foundational police officers. They only elect um, ethnically American citizens, whatever he said that means. Like that's his recommendation. That's what he said he's going to recommend to Congress. Do you foresee any city even considering such a thing?
He's crazy. He's bananas. A lot of
Because
those dudes
the
you
idea
cannot
just seems
trust.
dumb to me. It's
You,
like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
he's crazy, and a lot of the time I hate to say it, but mulattoes you really cannot trust them historically. And I'm not trying to hate the ones who identify with black people and that are for our struggle and historically have been on our favor and identify as black and fight with us. I accept them, but historically they played a very, especially like in Haiti and a lot of those places in the islands, even in Black America, they've always been you've had to watch them because they play both sides when it fits them. He goes into a lot of these black spaces and he'll weaponize his blackness when needed and then his whiteness. I've heard him call people niggers, all kinds of stuff when he gets upset. You got to be careful with that. I'm not one of those kind of. That's
Yeah,
why I don't subscribe to FBA that kind of stuff because a lot of those, some of those be red pillars. If you, they're the same ones talking stuff about black women, and then they'll hop in these forums and be like, "Oh, those Africans, they're black, crispy, and nasty, and we look like the mulatto-looking Americans." I've seen the wide range of the FBA I guess the prototypes of FBAs where some of them are pro-black, but then some of them are closer proximity to whiteness. So you will find them disparaging Africans, and they'll say very white supremacist talking points. That's why I don't get behind that FBA train, because you don't know who these guys are a lot of the times. And I'm somebody who's a real pro-black person, no matter where you're from. I don't try to say, "Oh, you African booty scratcher." To me, that's like self-hate. And I see them go off into those lanes, but then they'll be upset at the Europeans, like, "Oh, they don't like us because we're black." And but then you'll disparage another black person from another place using the same talking points. So I don't associate myself with that, although I am pro-black, and I understand I am an African. I mean, I am an African. I do get subscribed to myself being and attaching myself to Africa. And I don't have problems with Caribbeans who don't disrespect FBAs or disrespect our lineage. So that's just my point of view. I don't. I think he's nuts.
Yeah,
I have a
and
question.
I kind of let me just say this one thing. Like it's kind of weird to me that Black Americans want to go back to their days of slavery to claim that they're foundational, because I think that I'm foundational to America today, just simply because of how much I pay in taxes. I believe that I pay more in taxes than Pan Mulatto or more than Derek. I think I pay more in taxes than I would say 75% of people that consider themselves FBA. And so I think so that's why they can't say nothing to me about I'm not foundational. I'm paying more in taxes to you to run this country today than you have ever considered paying. Like if anything, I feel like I'm contributing to Black Americans' welfare checks. And so I'm more foundational to them than they are to me at this point. Because again, and I don't want to be derogatory,
Yeah, that was
but
very
but
derogatory, brother, because you just
sure,
corrected me before. That was
That,
extremely
but you
it
derogatory.
simply
can
just
be.
don't know
It
the
can
whole
be.
story
No,
But let me
that
just
of
was
finish
what
the
happened
derogatory.
statement.
here.
I think given what I pay in taxes, can nobody tell me I'm not foundational to this country. This government takes way too much out of my paycheck for anybody to tell me I'm not foundational and that I'm not building this country as we go. America isn't
This
done
country's
building.
already built.
We're building America every day. And
You're not
America
building
is always,
America. America's
what do
built.
you
What are
mean?
you
Then
talking
what am
about?
I paying taxes for?
Respectfully,
You
I disagree
okay,
with everything you
sir?
just said
Hold
right
on,
there, brother.
respectfully.
I
Come on
do.
now.
That
What are
that
you
that was
paying
kind of
taxes
crazy.
for? Is this your home or did you
Of
come here?
course it is. I'm paying property taxes. What do you mean is
You
this my
came,
home?
but
Well, we're
you
making
came
ethnic
here, right?
distinction, though. We're making
When did
ethnic
when
distinction,
did you
brother.
come to the United States from Jamaica?
I came here in
Respectfully.
85.
Okay, in '85. How when were you
Yeah.
born?
Right. I am in my mid 50s right now.
Okay, you're the same age as me, so you were born in the '70s.
Are you
So
Yep.
considering
now,
yourself
in
Jamaican or
85,
American?
that means you were at least 15, 14, 13 years old. So now, you as a
Which means I've
child,
been
you
here
did not
for
have a
over
choice to
for
come here.
40 years.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish, sir. Let me finish. You did not have a choice to come here. You came
Of
here
course
as a
we did.
child. So your parents had a choice to come here. So they chose a better life than where they were, right?
Okay.
They came here for economic and betterment, right? For
Yes.
them and their family, which is you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now, all right, respectfully, what do you think the people that have been here, right? Let's say since 1865 or before, do you think that they weren't here to embetter their families and
Yes,
them?
they were.
Okay, so now, did they have a choice of anybody else at the time coming to this land? Or did somebody else create that door opening for any other color to come to this land? Did the
Some
people
people.
that were here, that they're calling themselves now foundational Black Americans, did they have anything to do with any other race coming here? Did they say yes to anybody as a people in writing, anywhere in Congress, anywhere in the Declaration, anywhere?
Yes,
Because now everybody
Black
who came
Americans.
here, think about
Yes,
this.
yes,
Think about
yes,
this.
they did. So did
Think about
white and white
hold on, sir.
Americans did as well.
Sir, stop.
Derek,
Because
no, no,
think
no.
about
You
what
stop.
you're saying.
Derek, hold on, Derek. You take way too long to get to a point, bro. Because I
Okay,
don't
the
even know
point
the
is,
points you're making.
everybody, think about this. Everybody who came here since 1865 has come here for the same reasons your parents had. And
Okay,
now
so how does that
everybody
counter
who
what I
came,
said, though? All I
everyone
said
who's
was
come,
listen,
they, well,
Derek.
I
Let me
didn't
just repeat
finish
what
the
I
sentence.
said. Derek, let me repeat what I said so you can respond to what I said because I don't know how
Yeah,
you're responding to what I said. What I said was the fact that I pay as much taxes as I do for as long as I've been paying taxes here makes me foundational and means I am helping to build America. Just simply because
America,
I'm paying so much in taxes. And those
what?
tax money to me is more foundational to America than anything that these people are talking about. The only
Okay.
reason they're bringing up slavery is probably
Mhm.
because they don't pay the taxes I pay and they're not putting in today what I'm putting in today. So they have to reach out to their ancestors and talk about, well, look what my ancestors did. I don't care what your ancestors did. This is between me and you. And between me and you, I find myself doing more than you. And so I find myself more foundational than you. And you, if you have to bring up your ancestors as a slave to make you foundational, we're going to have a problem. That's a weak argument to me.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Hold
What
on,
is your?
hold on,
Hold on.
hold on,
What's the
hold on.
premise
Stop.
of
No,
your
no, no,
argument?
no. Let me answer, please,
The
please.
premise of my
Oh,
argument
please
is that I
let
am
me answer.
foundational to
All right,
America
that
because
I
I
heard
pay
exactly what
taxes
you said.
here.
I
I'm
But
heard
you know,
answering
hey,
exactly
Black
what you
brother,
said.
you
American.
know. Okay.
I heard exactly what you said. Now I have one question. Right now, are we supposed to
Uh,
forget about what our ancestors did? Because now there is an inheritance that we are supposed to have that someone's holding from us, from our ancestors. See, because the same birthright citizenship you have, we have a birthright. That's why your mom and dad get to pass down whatever efforts they had here, made here, to you. See, we have the same thing. Somebody's holding from us, but ours
My
is
mom and dad
several
didn't. My mom and
generations.
dad didn't pass anything down to me here in America. Everything I have
Oh,
here in America is what I worked for. Just
okay.
foundation
from
though.
me going to
Foundation.
college. They weren't. I didn't. So me as as someone who came here when I was 15 and went to school and got a degree and got a job and bought a home, like I did that all on my own. I didn't have to depend on my parents for any of that, and most immigrants do
No
that.
one asked you, sir.
Most immigrant
Sir,
let me
is
finish
your parents
let me
still alive?
finish hello let me
Are your
finish
parents still alive?
I said let me finish, Derek.
Yeah. Go
Most
ahead.
immigrants that come here with nothing, and they start from scratch, and in one generation they're doing fine. And so that's why we have this issue with y'all talking about, oh, because your ancestors were slaves you couldn't own a home. Like we just don't can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. I don't know how you, Derek, can't own a home because your ancestors were slaves. Like I can't relate
That's
to that.
not the answer.
Why?
That's
Because
not the why.
Wait a
I
minute.
had
That
ancestors
now.
that were slaves,
So then
and
why?
I'm
But
able
that's
to
not
own a
why
home.
they.
So why don't you
That's
own a
not
home in
why
your
Black
own country?
Americans don't
American
have
dream.
anything.
Wait, hold
That's
on.
not why.
We have property though, brother. And then if you said your ancestors weren't slaves, why don't you own a home in your own country? This is my
I do
thing.
own a
Now,
home in my own country.
hold on. But I mean,
I
wait. You
do
could have
own a
stayed.
home in my own country.
But you could have stayed in your home country and owned home.
Why, well,
Why
why
did you
aren't you
have to
there
come
now?
here? And then we
For
are
the
doing
same
quite
exact
well, brother.
reason,
But
Black America, Black
we are
American,
doing
Black
we are doing
American.
quite
Did
well,
your
brother.
Black American? Do you
We
have
are doing
heritage in
quite
the
well.
South? Do you have
Yes,
ancestors in the
I
I'm
South?
have
American.
heritage. Yes, we
Do you
are
have
in our
ancestors that
country.
came from the
Yes,
South?
yes, but we
I
Do
are
you
have
in
live?
that.
our
Yes,
Do
country,
I'm
you still
from
sir.
the
live in the
South.
South? I'm
We are
speaking to
I'm
still.
Black
from the
American.
South.
Do you
I'm
still
from
live
the
in the
South.
South?
I
Do
I'm
you
have
still
from
two
New
live in
Orleans,
the
homes.
South?
Louisiana.
Hold on, brother. I have two
Y'all
homes in
can't
the.
speak at the same time. I'm speaking to
I have
Black American.
I have two homes in the South. I have one here. I have two in the South. One in Memphis and one in
Where?
Texas.
One in where?
One in Memphis and one in Austin, Texas.
And where do you live? Which one do you live in? Where do
I
you
live in the
stay?
one in Los Angeles. I'm in Los
In
Angeles,
LA.
California. Yes.
All right. So why did you move from the South to LA?
I didn't move there. I was born out here. I just chose to go back there and
Why
build
did your
property
parents move there?
there.
Why did your mom or your dad move from down south into LA?
Let's just assume there was better
Because of the
opportunities, right?
clan.
Okay,
Because of the
okay,
Klan, right?
exactly. For the
But hold
same
on, hold on,
reason,
hold on.
for the
But
same
hold
ex-
on.
so to
That's not
answer
what the
your
art. You're moving
question,
the goalpost.
the answer to your
Moving the
question is
goalpost, brother.
I moved from Jamaica for the same reason your folks moved from the South.
But you said
Fuck no.
but your thing was that you
That's
were
not the same. You
foundational
moved to a
because
whole nother
hold
part of
on.
the land.
I said I'm
We
And
moved to
foundational
another
because
part
I'm
of our
paying
you
land.
said
taxes
you were
today.
but foundational, the way they describe it is designated for ethnicity. We're not saying you can just call yourself a word foundational. It's a designation for ethnicity. All we're saying is that we're different
But I thought
ethnically
you
when
had
we
a
say the
problem with this
foundation.
ethnicity thing. I
No,
thought you had a whole problem
no,
with
I
this
didn't.
ethnicity
I
thing.
said I'm proud
Now you're
of being
defending it?
Black American. No, I'm proud about my ethnicity, brother. I never said that. I said I won't call myself FBA because of the rhetoric attached, but I am ethnically Black American. That
Why
is
do we be
different
proud?
than
Nigga, because of the
Jamaican.
clan.
That
And
is
you think that
different
makes you
than
foundational
I didn't say
because you're
better.
ethnically
I just said
I
there's a
said
distinction.
foundational. Do you think
I
that
just
makes
said
you foundational?
yeah, we are foundational. Of course,
All
Black
right, so you
Americans
don't
are
think it's
foundation.
disrespectful. First you
I
said
said the
saying you're
FBA
foundational is
rhetoric.
disrespectful.
No,
First you
no, brother, you're
said
not listening.
calling
I said the
yourself
FBA
foundational.
movement. I said the FBA movement is, but I'm
Man.
proudly Black American, brother. I just said that that makes us that our own ethnicity. We have our own distinction. You're Jamaican. You're an
So what?
immigrant. That's fine.
Jamaicans are their
I
own
don't have anything a
ethnicity.
problem.
Jamaicans in America
Exactly,
are their own
exactly.
ethnicity.
Okay, that's
Chinese
good.
in
That's
America
great.
are
I
their own
agree.
ethnicity.
Exactly. But you're
Japanese,
saying
Yeah, but that don't make you
but you're
let me
saying
American.
speak.
now that you're
Let me speak.
foundational, though,
Let
bro. That's
me
the difference.
speak.
You are
Chinese in
saying
America are their own
exactly.
ethnicity.
Exactly.
Italians
That
in
don't make
America,
them
Chinese,
their own
American.
ethnicity.
but
That
you're
doesn't
right. I'm
now
not saying it's better, but
how does being your
you're
own
not
ethnicity
foundational,
make you foundational?
bro. What I'm
Okay, let
saying
me.
How does
Can
being
I
your
answer
own
that?
let me
I
everybody
can
is
tell
their
you
own
why.
ethnicity?
I can tell
okay,
you
so
why.
I'm just telling
I
you,
can tell
bro.
you why. Using
What
you as an example.
we're just saying that we're not immigrants to
Your
this
mother and
country,
father
bro.
came here from Jamaica and became United States citizens, correct?
Yes.
If I go to Jamaica, I'm not going to
Legally.
be the same
Now,
as
you
an
are a
ethnically born
United States
Jamaican, bro.
citizen,
Let him
correct?
finish, Black American. Let him finish.
All
Repeat
right.
your question, Derek.
You are a United States citizen, correct? You said you pay
Yes.
taxes. Now, if you
Yes.
have a son, is he Jamaican American?
He's going to be he's an American with Jamaican heritage.
He's he's a United States citizen who was
Yes.
born in America, right?
Yes. Yes.
That makes him a Jamaican American.
No, he's an American with Jamaican heritage. That makes him
Okay,
an American.
okay, he's an American with Jamaican heritage. Now,
Like I consider
think about this.
myself a Jamaican. I consider myself
Oh,
a Jamaican
oh,
American because I moved
okay,
here
that's
from
fine.
Jamaica. I actually lived in
That's fine.
Jamaica. My
Now,
son never
now I
lived
have
in
a question.
Jamaica, so he's not a Jamaican. He's an
Okay, now
American
I have a
that
question.
happens to have Jamaican heritage.
Okay, that's fine. So
Okay.
now let's put all of this in a home, right? Now you
Derek,
came
you got
to
to
a
make
new
your
home.
points quicker though, Derek. Derek, you
I
got to
am.
figure out how to
It's
get to
going to
your
be
point a
real
lot
quick.
quicker.
You came to a home, right? A brand new home, and now you live here. So now the people who've always been in this home, do they have more seniority than you,
No,
or are
this
you
isn't a
equal?
job site. No, no. As long as I'm paying my taxes, like I said, y'all don't pay more taxes than me.
That doesn't
So
define. That
so if
doesn't define.
anyone
That's
is
not. That
so if
doesn't
there
mean
isn't,
anything,
listen
brother.
to me. If there's gonna be if anything is gonna be equal or unequal or who's more American, it's gonna be based on who's paying more taxes.
No, it's not by
You
No,
those
it's
will
not.
not be.
Can
definitions.
I
Listen to
That's
me.
jump
I
in,
don't
y'all?
give it.
you get.
I
I
don't
just
Hold
care
on. You
how
joined
just
as a
made
long.
that
truth teller.
I
definition.
don't
Can
You
I
just
care
jump
how
got
in?
in the
many
house.
relatives you have here.
You
If
just
I'm
got in
paying
the
more in
house,
taxes
brother.
than you, you're not
Can,
more
How can a
anything than me.
newcomer? How can a
can I jump
newcomer
in,
come
y'all?
into
So
somebody else's house and tell
basically,
them how the rules are going
he's
to
a
be defined, brother?
Jamaican
You're
who's
a
come to get
newcomer,
in your
brother.
Because y'all
way
have this
as
newcomer
a
paying
United
more
States.
taxes than
It
you.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
What you
matter.
mean? It matters to
Hey, can
me.
I jump
If
in,
I
y'all?
own
I
a
can kill
Matters
the
to
home,
tax.
me.
I
but
can
you're a
kill the whole
newcomer,
tax
brother.
argument. I can
You're a
kill
Can
the
I
whole
say
newcomer,
that?
tax
then,
argument.
Who
right?
is it? No, you hold
Man,
on,
you
truth.
supposed
Hold
to
on.
pay more
Hold on,
taxes.
truth.
All
You
right,
ain't
Hold
cool,
at
on.
home.
cool.
Hold on. I put you
You
in. I put
supposed to
you on the
pay
stage.
more.
I'm
You
gonna
ain't
get to
at
you.
home.
Hold on.
You
Who is
rent
that
a room
yelling?
somewhere else.
Who is that yelling? Is that Derek? Derek, calm down. Um, Truth Teller.
Yes,
You
sir.
said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, that whole tax argument, that's fallacious, right?
Right.
You can only pay. You only paying
Tough teller,
taxes
I can't
based on
hear you.
You only paying taxes based on income you're
Can
earning
y'all hear
here.
him? Is he saying something?
Yes,
Yes,
he
I hear
is.
you.
Yeah.
I,
You
I
can
I
can
only
didn't
hear
hear
earn.
a word he
You can
said.
only. You can only pay taxes based on income you earn here. Question: Who built the system that you're earning income in? It wasn't you, because you're from Jamaica.
It wasn't you
So
either. It
if
It
you're
wasn't you.
was.
using a system that
You
was
no,
already
slaves
established
didn't build this
by,
system.
hold on, I'm
Slaves
still
didn't
speaking.
build this
We're
system.
not
I'm still
slaves.
speaking. I'm still speaking. If you're using a system built by other people to benefit yourself, and the cost of using that system is paying taxes, you can't now say the fact that you're paying taxes means you have the same validity as the people that built the system. You're just a
And
user.
why does the American government agree with me
They
and
don't.
not with
Because the
you? Yes,
American
they
government
do.
is using the
Yes, they
American.
do.
They don't.
Truff,
So hold on.
Truff,
Let me
hold
give you
on,
some of
Truff.
my.
Hold
Let
no
me
no
give
no
you
no no
my
hold on. You
background.
hold on. Truff,
Wait, I
hold
just want
on.
to give you
You
my
hold
background
on.
so you can
No, I
understand
don't want to hear
why.
your background. I don't want to hear your background. I want to
Yeah,
say
Okay,
go
I
something
mean,
to you.
I know
According
Jamaicans
to the
very
US
well.
government, according to the US government, the only thing that matters the only thing that matters is the fact that I'm paying taxes. And according to the US government, you're no more American than me. Matter of
That's why
fact,
they made the 14th
if it was
Amendment.
up to the
Crazy.
American government, if it was up to the American government, they would keep the people that pay more taxes than the people that pay
Well, hold
probably
on.
none,
What are you basing
next
that
to
measurement
none.
on? What are you basing that on?
We're not
But
Because
saying.
there
that's why
is
they
no
made the
law,
14th
there
Amendment
is
so
no
everybody
because
can pay
there
taxes.
you show me in the Constitution where it's written that people that have ethnic citizenship are more American than anyone else. You
Oh,
can't show it to me.
In the
that's
So
not the
this is
Constitution
something
argument.
says
y'all are
you get
making up.
That's not.
This
We're
is
Well,
not.
hold
We're
on,
not
something
hold on.
arguing
no.
that
Nobody
against
is
said
what
that.
that
y'all are
except you.
saying.
We're not
Yes, you
saying
are
that.
No,
We're
saying
not
it.
nobody
saying that
said that
makes you
except you. But
more.
Yes,
hold
you
on.
are
I can
saying
give you
that.
proof.
What?
I can give you
Go
proof that
ahead.
it does exist. It's not written in law, but it's written in the enforcement of the law. So do you want that proof? Or
I'm
I'm
sorry, I
hearing
got
cricket. So
distracted by
you
my
don't want
son a
that
little
proof
bit.
or you do want
No,
that
I
proof?
got distracted. I got distracted.
Oh,
What's
okay.
your question? Proof of what again?
I said, do you want the proof that it's not written in the law, but it is enforced in the law? Do you want that proof?
It's in the
Something
Constitution.
that's not written is enforced. Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Show me that proof.
Awesome.
And hold on. And what
Uh-huh.
exactly you're showing me proof of? That ethnic citizens have more
You
rights than non-ethnic citizens?
That's not my
no.
argument. So
You
okay.
said that
Then
the
what are you
law
proving?
you
Then what
said
are you
that the
showing?
law weights
It doesn't
weights
matter what I said.
citizenship
What are you going to
based
prove?
on
What are you going to
ethnicity,
prove?
is what you said.
What are you
You
going to
said the
prove?
law you said the law doesn't do that. If you stop talking, I'll tell you. You said the law doesn't
Listen, you can't tell the
wait.
host to stop talking. The host can
I'm
make you
trying to
stop
answer your
talking.
question. How you going to
The whole
interrupt me?
listen, be smart. The host
Do you
can
want me
make
to
you
tell
stop
you or
This
talking.
not?
boy got some
I'll
more
tell
ready.
you.
No, I want you to listen to what I'm. No, I want you to
I
stop
can't
telling me to
listen to
stop
you. I'm
talking.
answering your
This
question.
court
How
I
am I going to
create.
listen to
American
you?
dying motherfuckers to eat.
All right. Black American.
Awesome.
Was there anything you wanted to say?
No, I was just nah. Okay, so maybe you and I are just having two different. I'm not saying that being ethnically Black American gives me more any rights or privileges. That's why I think. I think that's the point where we depart at. I agree with you that being in America, the way the system is designed, we have equal rights. Even immigrants and American citizens have equal rights. I was just making a point of distinction that we are not necessarily ethnically the same. I'm not saying that
So
that's a
what?
bad or a good thing.
So what?
Okay, well, I'm just like it's not
And
even
no.
about
I want
it's,
you to answer that question. We're
what's
not
the question.
ethnically the same. We're not
Never said
ethnically the same. So what?
so what. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't
So like
understand.
my
There was
heritage.
no
Okay,
argument against
my
that.
parents came
It's
here in
fine.
the 1970s, right? We came here in the 1970s, in the 1980s.
Mhm.
You have ancestors that have been here since slavery days.
Great. Mhm.
And what? So what does that mean in terms of me being an American and you being an American?
You
What
guys
does that
made this
mean to
Nothing.
you?
you made this a point of a contention. I get it,
Nothing.
brother.
We're all
I
14th
love Black
Amendment
people from
citizens.
everywhere. I don't care if you from Jamaica, Haiti,
Okay, so your
Barbados. I
answer is it
never
so
said
so you
anything
so
wrong.
the answer to the so what is so nothing. It means
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
there is nothing to. I don't know where the point of contention came from. I just said that we have our own
I don't know.
ethnicity.
That's
You
all.
have your
Oh,
own
you
ethnicity. They're
oh, you
both to be
said it.
celebrated. I just said that we're not. When you said that we're a foundation, like we're the same, I was just saying that ethnically we are different, but we coexist. We have our own differences. We can unite around our similarities. Great. But when you said you're foundational, I think that was the only thing that I disagreed with. But like foundational to
No,
this
what I'm
country,
saying, okay,
that
so
was
let
all.
me
That's
try to
fine.
be a little more clear for you then, Black
Okay.
American, and maybe
Okay.
hopefully you'll be, you'll accept what I'm saying a little bit more, I hope.
Okay.
Any American today, any American that's paying taxes today is foundational to America. Because America, if you're paying taxes, you're helping to build America. America isn't finished built. America today looks nothing like America looked 10 years ago. Looks nothing like America looked 50, 100 years ago. America is not finished being built. America continues to be built every single day. And any American that is here paying taxes is foundational to America because you're helping to build America. Is that something you can accept?
I disagree only
No,
because foundation
because
means the
this is the
beginning. It
United
means
States.
it
This
means it
ain't
means
America.
it means the origin. A foundation means the building blocks of. It doesn't mean something that's continuously in motion. I understand what you're trying to say, but that is the word foundation means the origin. It's specifically about building blocks, and this is not the
You
building
see if I
blocks now.
replace, you
Everything has
see if I
already been
replace,
built. Everything
you
has
see if
been
I
built already.
replace, I have a house. You see if I replace a few of the beams in my house, if I take out the old ones and replace them with some new ones, like those new ones are now foundational to that house because they're keeping the house up. The fact that they haven't been there since the house was built doesn't mean, oh, they can't be
You
foundational.
would
The
have to
fact that
tear
they're
down
there
your
right
whole
now,
house to build
let
to
me
replace
finish.
those
The fact that
beams.
they are there right now holding up the structure means they are foundational, whether they've been there forever or not. It's what are you doing right now? That's what to me makes you foundational. And I'll repeat
That's not.
myself. The fact that y'all have to go back to your slavery days to find something to be foundational about you
Unfortunately.
is pretty
What up?
sad. It's pretty sad that
No,
you have to
no,
go back to
that's not
slavery
what this is
to
about. That's
find
not what it's
something
about.
foundational about yourself. Hang
If
on a
we have to
second.
tear
Hang,
down,
hang on a second, please. Hang on. Let me let True Flow
Let
True
them
Truth back in.
Yeah.
Let me let Truth
Y'all
back
go back
in.
to the other line.
I'm curious,
Truth.
what beams have been rebuilt
that's what
by
I'm
Okay,
saying.
hang on. Since
immigrants?
you want to ask that question,
Yeah.
Derek, was there? I'm sorry, Black American or Derek, was there anything y'all wanted to say about what I said?
I was just trying to
Yes,
say,
I would
as if
love to
you
say something,
said
but
you
I'll
have to
let him go
put the
first.
beams. The beams is as if you had to tear down the house, or if we tore down America and then you came back and placed some new beams, and then you started a new America, then I would maybe could see that. But these beams have already been. They've already been built, and it's never been torn down. All you done was you probably did some add-ons. America, you maybe tweak the roof or tweak the kitchen or something like that. But the case is, it's never been a complete rebuild of America. It hasn't. We've only been tweaking
I
this
didn't say it
big
was a complete
empire.
rebuild of the house. I said I replaced one
Okay,
beam
but
of
you
the
said the
house. I didn't
beams,
say it was a
but
complete rebuild.
but it's not the
Derek, is there
foundation.
anything you wanted to say?
Yes, yes. The rebuild, that's a good analogy. But I would just say that the people who replaced the beam and created the new foundation that you call it is white people. And everybody else that's come here after that has tethered on to what they've done. That's why you can take us back to a slave story. Because in actuality, do you understand that the 14th Amendment changed people here from state citizens to federal citizens? Your 14th Amendment citizenship, which is mine, is a federal one. So if that never happened, none of this would have ever started. And you'll find out the 14th Amendment citizenship that we're talking about started under a coup. So the people of the South weren't with being 14th Amendment citizens at all. They were killed. Those people that represented the South then was killed, and then they put in military operations people to pass that bill. Look it up. That's a part of history. From then on, federal citizens that you call after 1865 became written as African slaves. Period. But that's not actually what happened. Because after 1865, till 1933, you can see the violence of the immigrants who came here against the people of the South, who were black and was a large population. Over 6 million of these people ran out of the South between 1920 and 1970. So when you speak on the things you speak on, I understand where you're coming from because you do know how to read, and congratulations. But that's not actually what happened here. And since you're from somewhere else, I can understand where you're coming from. But see, I have been here longer than you. Like I have been in the same room with my mother, my grandmother, and my great grandmother on this land eating sweet potato pie. So it's
That is
You and
different
the
for
funny.
sweet
me.
potato, bro. You funny.
And gumbo. So now
Gumbo.
when I say what I'm saying it from a person who can understand the laws and how they change things. Because I see what happened to my people here. Because after 1865, they went through a lot of violence to get off their lands. My first question to you or anyone else is, how did slaves have citizenship, state or federal, if they were slaves? The 14th
Um,
Amendment comes directly from the slaves, you so call, but they had states' rights, which were directly to the Constitution rights. And the government from the North made these people federal citizenship, 14th Amendment citizens. And from there, they caught hell. Coincidentally, this 14th Amendment citizenship is supposed to be the government protecting these people. And from 1865 to 1930, these people were killed by the thousands and run off their land. So if they were all slaves and didn't have nothing, how are they even being ran off of land?
I think American Dream. I think the reason why I think you're answering a question that was asked by ADOS in response to a reparations claim. I think that's where I think maybe this question I think makes sense when you're trying to answer that. Then because I never made it a point of contention, but it makes sense under the reparations umbrella why there was made a distinction between foundational Black Americans and maybe somebody who's an immigrant. See, under that context, it makes sense. You and I under this conversation, it doesn't. There's no reason to delineate in this kind of fashion. But I'm saying, and for a reparations discussion, that's why I think people were saying that, hey, foundational Black Americans, we have to define ourselves, and I agree with them for that distinction. Now, just in any other right, it's not making people better than you or saying that we're better than anyone. Of course not. We're not saying that that should give us more rights or we have more rights or we have more rights under this system than you do as a Jamaican or American of the Jamaican ancestry. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
But
that
we
under
don't
the
get no respect
racist
because this
umbrella,
is our home.
hey, hang
we
on a
should.
second. Truth Teller. Truth Teller. I just realized your name was Truth Teller. You must have written it in the Tut language. Is there something you wanted to say, Truth Teller?
I just wanted to ask, what are these pillars that were replaced by immigrants?
The
The
pillars
14th
that were
Amendment.
replaced by immigrants.
Yeah.
The 14th Amendment.
No, he made a reference saying that the immigrants that come over here is, foundational to the country. And he gave the equivalent of having a house and building and, replacing some of the pillars so that you have a new foundation. I'm curious, what were the pillars replaced in our system by immigrants?
And I'm
Well,
telling you
me,
right
for
now,
example. Well, me.
I can tell you
Hang on,
the
Derek. Derek, let
14th
me
Yeah,
answer.
it
Amendment.
was his
Derek.
point. It was his
Derek, let
point.
me
Go
answer
ahead.
his question.
Yeah.
Me, for example, like
Uh-huh.
I'm what I pay in taxes replaces whoever was paying taxes before. I've become that pillar of paying those taxes now. So I am the pillar, me personally, because I am paying taxes, which without me, someone else would have to replace my pillar and start paying my taxes to the state I live in. So
The
that's the
tax
pillar. I'm
payments
the pillar.
Tax
the
payments are
tax
the
payments
pillar
are the
of
pillar that
America.
you're talking about?
Yeah, I am the pillar.
That makes
Me. The
no
fact
sense.
that I pay taxes to the state I live in. If I wasn't paying those taxes to the state I live in, my state would be at a loss. I pay a lot of money in taxes. If I was to stop paying, my state would be at a loss. So I replace the
Your
pillar
state would
because some people
ain't
stop
no
paying
Well,
state in America
taxes.
would be
So
at a
hey,
now
loss
hold
if
on,
you stop
y'all.
paying
Hold
taxes.
on.
most
Yeah, let him finish.
let
Sorry, go
me
ahead.
say this is outside of that, like I said, America isn't this one constant thing. America changes every day. There are new laws. There have been amendments to the Constitution, and so all of the amendments to the Constitution that happened, right? We created those amendments can be seen as new pillars that were put in, or additional pillars that were put in, and nobody can tell me that Caribbean people weren't involved in the creation of of amendments to the Constitution or just laws in any particular state. So we are adding pillars, we're replacing pillars, we're doing all of that. So I don't understand why that's difficult to understand.
Well,
But okay,
it's difficult for me
how
to
how how
understand.
you as
Well,
a
hold on, my man.
Jamaican?
He's talking to me. He's talking
Yeah,
to
go
me.
ahead,
I
Truth.
find it difficult to understand because that's not a pillar.
Exactly.
Because if you were replacing the pillar, you would actually pay for the pillar that was paid for by people prior to you. You'd pay that cost, and then you'd put in a new cost. That's called
I don't know what
net
you're
gain.
talking about.
So if you come in and there's already a bill paid, and you want to say, "Hey, I'm paying
Bill is
now
not paid.
towards
My
this,"
tax bill wasn't paid.
what do you mean? You had a
What
tax
do you
system to
mean?
pay.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
hold on.
My
You had a
tax bill
tax.
wasn't paid when I came
It
here.
was
The
because you
minute I
had a
came
you
here, we
had a
had to pay taxes.
right, but you had a tax system that was already built. You think that was built for free with no money?
But
Do you
that
think
tax system
do you think
depends
that
on me.
do
Hello,
you think
hello. The tax
do you
system
think the
depends
system
on me.
Well,
right,
would
but
you have to
hold
pay
on. When
taxes
your
in
parents
Jamaica?
flew over here, that whole infrastructure that got them here, the system that they used to come into the nation. I don't know if they're citizens now, but they had to get green cards. That whole process, the fact that they got jobs, the fact that they used our roads to go to work, the fact that you went to our schools. You you think that you guys paid for that?
While they were
When
here paying their taxes, while they were here living here paying taxes, and I went to school, yeah, they were helping to put me through school by paying taxes as well.
but you
They
realize all
paid
And
that
it's
stuff was
already
taxes.
been
built
They
there.
paid
already.
taxes. What do you mean that stuff has to be maintained? Hello, a
Thank
school
you.
doesn't.
Oh,
Do
ooh,
Every
you
Main,
pay
year
good
they
word.
taxes
renew.
in
maintenance is
Hold
not the
Jamaica?
on,
Good
word.
word.
hold on.
Good word.
Every year
Maintain.
Maintain.
maintain, yeah,
Maintain. Good
but
word.
so what? So what?
All
I'm
right. So
It's
still
not the
maintaining
the
and
pillar.
building are
maintenance
not
is
the same
foundation.
thing.
Correct.
Yeah,
Maintenance is
maintenance is
Correct.
not
foundational.
foundational. No,
Without
it's
No,
not.
maintenance,
maintenance
the
is
whole
not
thing falls apart.
foundational, brother. No,
Without maintenance, the whole thing is
it's
gonna
not
fall apart.
but it's
That is
not
true. I agree
Without
with you.
foundational.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
not
so I tell
foundational
you
though.
what. So I tell
You
you
didn't
what.
build
Right.
Y'all
anything.
will
You're
be
just
so
using it.
y'all can be the
You're just
old
using the
rundown
system.
America. I'll be the maintained America.
That's
I'm the one
fine. We'll
maintaining
That's
be like
that
cool.
old
Jamaica.
rundown America that y'all had.
We'll be like
How's
Jamaica. Have
that?
you seen Jamaica lately?
So
I
I
was
have a
just there
question,
not too
Mr.
long ago.
Mr.
I had an awesome time. I was
Shout
just
Oh,
out to
there
the
it's not
a
run
couple
Jamaicans.
of
down.
Shout out
weeks
to my
ago.
Mr.
Jamaicans.
Run
American
down
And
Dream.
I
my
love
ass.
Jamaicans, but
Run
Oh, it's
down
not
my
run down.
ass.
but
Not
black
where I
Americans
live.
also we also involved in the maintenance. We're also
Not
involved
where
in the
I live.
foundation and the maintenance
Mr.
of
You
the
know
American
what's
Dream.
run
community.
I have
down,
a
truth
question.
teller? Truth teller. Can I ask you a
We're
question,
involved
truth
in
teller?
both. The
Please
Truth
don't
teller.
compare
maintenance
Jamaica to
also.
America.
Truth
Please
teller.
don't.
Is Baltimore run down?
Oh God.
Truth teller. Are
You
you
know.
aware? Truth teller. Truth teller. Are
Oh
you
God.
aware that there are more? Baltimore is bigger than Jamaica. There are more
Yeah,
black
I
people in
do.
Baltimore than live in Jamaica. Yeah, so I can
Have you ever
compare
been to
Baltimore to
Baltimore?
Jamaica.
And
It's
they're
Have you ever been to
hell. No, I don't
Baltimore?
want to go. It's run down.
You,
Baltimore
let's
is the
be
no,
worst
it's
honest.
city
actually
in
not.
the.
Most
Let's
of
not compare.
Baltimore
Let's not
If
even
isn't
try to
run
make a
Baltimore is
down.
not
comparison.
run down, Jamaica's not run down.
Most of
Because
Baltimore is
Baltimore
not
is a
run down,
shithole.
sir.
Nah,
Most of
Most of
Baltimore has
Baltimore
Jamaica
is
is
great.
not
not
run
run
down,
down,
sir.
sir.
Most of Jamaica is not run down, sir.
Yes, it
The hell is
is.
wrong with? No, it's not. You
Sir,
know
Okay, so
I
what,
was
why
truth
in
don't you
teller?
Jamaica
live
last
there now?
week. I
Are
was
you
in Jamaica
Jamaican?
last week.
Are you Jamaican?
Why don't you live in Jamaica
Yes,
now?
my
Well, you're
If
father's
it's not
Jamaican.
run
Jamaican and
down.
my wife is
So you're a tether
Jamaican.
too? You're a tether too?
No, my mother is foundational.
Wait,
I
your
got, I
father,
have, My
So your
father's
father
Jamaican.
is
My
your
mother's
father's
foundation.
Jamaican.
I tried to tell you, I wanted to give you
So
my
you're a
background before I
foundational tether.
started talking,
So you're
because
a
I knew you was
foundational
going to do the
tether.
Jamaica stuff.
So
No, he
you're a
didn't say that.
foundational
He didn't say
tether.
that. He didn't say
Can
that.
we agree? Okay, so pan mulattoism was a foundational mulatto, and truth teller
What?
is a
What's
foundational
pan-mulattoism? What are
tether.
you talking about?
The other guy, some guy that was up here, he said he was a foundational mulatto. And I'm asking you, are you a foundational tether?
A
Given
tether
that you have
is an
Jamaican parents.
international coon. I'm not cooning for Jamaicans.
Then who are you cooning for? America?
I'm not cooning. I
He's not
don't
cooning at
coon.
all.
I'm
He just
foundational Black American because I was raised here and my mother is one. I respect
But you have
my
a tether,
culture.
and your father's and your
I
dad is a
won't
tether.
lie. I will never lie and tell you Baltimore is more run down than Jamaica. That's what you're doing.
Have you traced your mom's heritage?
Yes.
You've done her paperwork, and
I
it
go
goes. How
back to
far
the
back does your heritage go?
1700s. Yes, my
I
mother
don't believe you. I
is
think
from
you're just
South
saying
Carolina.
that.
My mother is from Fairfax, South Carolina, Fairfax County. I even traced it back to my ancestors who were slaves. My grandfather is from Augusta, Georgia. I traced his back to slaves.
All right, so you're a foundational tether. Got it.
I know exactly where I'm from, but player, I've been
Nah,
to
tether.
Jamaica. I
That's
know it
not what
very
he said.
well. You can't sit here and tell me Baltimore is
Of course not.
more run down than Jamaica. And I was in Jamaica
Baltimore.
last
Listen,
week.
Baltimore is a
Stop it.
shithole.
Stop it. Next you gonna say Chicago,
Baltimore,
right?
Baltimore,
Next you
Say
gonna
and
say
Baltimore.
Chicago,
Chicago.
but I think Baltimore is worse
Nah,
than Chicago.
Baltimore.
Okay, then take
You know
Baltimore.
those cities
Chicago.
aren't
Man,
Okay,
mostly
so you
black.
agree that Chicago's a shithole? So you think
You
Chicago's
know
run down?
those cities
nah,
aren't
come on. Why
mostly
Hold
we
on. Are
black.
you
comparing? Why we?
agreeing that
Do you know
Chicago's
that?
run down? Are you agreeing that
No, it's
Chicago
not.
is
It's
run
not
No,
down?
run
Chicago is
down.
affluent. Chicago is
Yeah.
affluent, and
Chicago is
Baltimore has
affluent.
Don't
affluent.
even know. We just saying stuff.
Chicago is affluent in Baltimore, especially the black community, the black middle class and wealth class in Baltimore. You can't compare it to
There's only
Jamaica,
a
brother.
few
And I
poor
love
areas in
Jamaica.
these
I
places.
love Jamaica, brother.
Most
Baltimore has one
black
of the
people are
richest
not
black
poor.
enclaves in the U.S. They're in Baltimore. Probably one of the richest in
Thank
the
you.
U.S. is in Baltimore, brother.
Yes.
Baltimore is the
And
worst city in the state.
Not enough.
absolutely
There's
go look
not
up the
enough
average
poor
black wealth
black
in
neighborhoods
Baltimore
to hold
versus
all the
Baltimore
black
is the
people in the
anywhere.
worst
United
city in
States.
the state.
Brothers,
Oh,
it's not.
Jesus
It's not
Christ.
true, especially amongst Black Americans. They have some of the poorest Black Americans, but some of the richest in the nation, brother. If we
In the
did a
same place.
GDP, if you just did a wealth check between Jamaica and Baltimore, I guarantee you, Black
You
Americans
don't want to
have
do that.
way more wealth than Jamaica. And I'm not, like I said,
Are there poor
at
sections of
heart,
Baltimore?
I
Are there
love.
poor
Of
sections of
course there
Baltimore?
is.
Yeah, yeah, there are
So
poor
why don't
Of
sections
y'all
course
fix
there
it
is.
everywhere.
up?
We don't have
So
to.
why don't
We don't
FBA
have to.
fix it up?
We're not trying to do the poverty Olympics, brother. We're not here to.
So why
And
no? But
it's,
why don't y'all fix it up?
we,
Why
huh?
don't y'all fix it up?
We should. We should.
You
Absolutely.
should.
I'm
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So fix it
I
up. I tell you
disagree. I
what.
don't think we
I tell you
should.
what.
I
Jamaicans
disagree
will
though.
go.
I think we need
I'll
to
go
fix
back
up
and
all
fix
of
I
up
our
don't think we
Jamaica.
should.
communities.
I'll go
All
back
of
and
our
fix up
communities.
Jamaica when y'all go fix up Baltimore and Chicago. How's that?
Most black people
Is
don't
that a
live in
deal?
poor neighborhoods, sir.
Is that a deal?
Look, we can
Yes, they
fix.
do.
So,
I'm for improving our lives, no matter where we at.
In
Wherever Black
America,
Americans
well,
truth
are, let's
teller,
I hear
do
truth
it.
you,
teller,
brother. I hear
truth
you. But
teller, truth
capitalism
teller,
requires somebody
truth
to be
teller,
poor.
truth teller. You're not
Yeah,
even,
that's
and
true.
in America, capitalism may require somebody to be poor, but in America, poor is synonymous with black.
Right. No, it's well,
Right.
I
So don't
mean it
tell
is,
me.
but
So
that's
stop.
because
So
of the
stop telling
show.
me,
Obviously,
black
you've been
people.
Let's be
So
brainwashed.
honest.
stop
Let's be
telling
honest.
me that black cities
Poverty
aren't
synonymous.
shitholes.
But let's be
So
honest.
stop telling
Poverty
me
They're
that
not.
synonymous
black
with black
cities.
Wait, hold
So
on,
globally.
hold on.
stop
Wait, wait,
telling
wait.
me that black cities aren't
Poverty,
shitholes, because they
Well,
are.
poverty,
I've never said
poverty.
that. I've never said
I
that. I
never
come
said that
from the hood.
either.
I was born and raised in
Is
Hollis, Queens.
Baltimore a
So
shithole?
I know the hood, but I also know the hoods in
Is the
Jamaica.
hood a shit? Is the
And the
hood a
hoods in
shithole?
Jamaica don't translate to the hoods in
Is the
America.
hood?
They're not even
Is
on
the
the
hood in
same
America a
level.
shithole?
We don't
Is the hood
have
in America
weird
No,
a
no. I'm
animals
shithole?
not.
running around pissing on the
No,
street, sir. We don't
no
Is
have
the
one's
that
hood
saying. No
in
one's
in the
saying
America?
that.
hood.
Is the hood in America a
We don't
shithole?
have animals just running goats and shit running around. We
Is
don't
the
have
hood in
that.
America? Is the hood in
We
Baltimore
don't
a
have that,
shithole?
sir. We don't have
Okay, so
that.
you're denying that
We
it.
don't
So
have
you are
we don't
denying that
have
it's a
tents.
shithole.
We don't have
Respectfully,
So
tents.
you
We
are
don't have
denying that
tent,
it's a
black
tinsel
shithole.
roofs.
black people globally is the face
We
of
don't have
poverty. No
tinsel
matter
roofs in the hood
where you
here in
are,
America,
whether it's
my
the
man.
Caribbean, whether it's Black America, whether it's Africa, poverty and blackness. Unfortunately, because we've all been colonized or destabilized, even Jamaica, the U.S. has a hand in destabilizing Jamaica. Britain has a hand in destabilizing Jamaica. All all Western countries has a hand
So,
in destabilizing
and brother, I
foreign
want to
black
ask you a
countries.
question. Do you know what the poverty rate is for Black Americans in the United States?
Do I
I
know
know
that
black
poverty?
is I know that in America, black is synonymous with poor.
Same
No, I
thing in
hear you. I'm
Jamaica
not saying
though.
you're
Same
wrong.
thing in
I'm
the
not saying you're
Caribbean.
wrong.
Same thing
Do
in
you know what the
Africa.
poverty rate is for black people in the United States? Anybody?
The poverty rate in America for black
Yeah.
people,
It's
Yeah.
probably like
um,
8%.
Nope.
no, I don't know off the top of my head.
Probably actually less than that. Probably like 6%, bro.
The poverty rate for black people overall, I think, if I remember correctly, it's like 22%.
Okay.
That's out of 45 million people. That's our poverty rate.
That's a very high poverty rate, sir.
Very true. But
Very
what that
true.
also guess what that
22% is
also
super
means?
high.
Guess what
I
that
mean, it
also
sounds
means?
like you're celebrating that.
No, guess what that also
How
means?
who celebrates one where 1 out of 5 black people are in poverty and you're celebrating that? That's
No,
ridiculous,
it
bro.
means 4 out of 5 black people aren't in poverty.
It also means 1 out of 5 is in poverty. That's what I
Okay,
said. What the hell is
I
wrong
hear
with you?
you.
That's
But one out
I
of
hear you.
five,
But if
one
you
out of
if
five
you
what's the
studied,
national
is
average?
huge, bro.
What's the
but
national
but if
average,
you
brother?
studied, hey,
The national
hold
average
on.
is not
But
20%.
if you
Let's
studied
check it
our
out.
culture and our history in this country, you'd
Truth
understand
teller,
why
what's the
it's that
national
high.
average? What's the national average, truth teller,
What for poverty? For
for poverty?
overall, just all people?
Yes,
It's in the
in
teens.
America.
It's in
In
the teens.
America. In the
Yeah, it's in the
teens?
teens.
11%.
You sure
Yeah,
about
it's in
that?
the teens.
11%. It's
Yeah, it's in the teens. For
11%.
11.5.
That's
white
not the
people, it's in the
teens.
single digits.
So the black American poverty rate in America is twice the average of America.
Hmm.
Why don't
Okay.
y'all fix up your shit? Why don't you fix up
Well,
yourselves?
do you know the
What is the
history of
matter
our
with
country?
y'all?
Do you
Instead
know
of
the
worrying
history?
about hold on, instead of
Hold on,
worrying
my man.
about
I just asked
Jamaicans
you a
going, no,
question.
no, no, you hold on
Do you
before
know
I
the
mute you
history of
again.
our country?
No, you hold on. No, you hold on.
Do you know the
Instead of
history of
worrying,
our country?
instead of y'all worrying about Jamaica going back to Jamaica to fix up the place, why don't y'all fix up America? Black Americans,
We are.
FBA is
What don't do?
your poverty rate is twice the American average.
And we're trying to
Why
do
you are
that. So what is the
twice the
problem?
why don't instead of worrying about Jamaicans fixing up Jamaica, why don't you
How are we
fix up
worrying about it?
yourselves?
How are
Why
we
don't you
worrying
fix
about
up
it? I don't get it.
because every time every single person that has come on this panel, I don't know if you've noticed, but like clockwork, whenever a FBA comes on my panel, the first thing out their mouth is, why don't you go back to Jamaica and fix it up? My mans, your poverty
Well,
rate is
I think
twice the national average. Why don't you fix yourselves up? When
what
y'all fix
what
yourselves up, we'll go home
what
and fix
with
Jamaica
all
up.
due
Is that a
respect
deal?
and with all
Black
due respect,
American, can we make that or can we make that deal?
that's true.
Jamaicans will
But
go
it
home and
also
fix up Jamaica
I
right
agree.
after Black Americans fix
I
up Black
I
America.
agree, but in all due respect, that also includes you because under this black poverty rate, under that black umbrella includes black Jamaicans, it includes black Haitians, it includes all black
I
people.
will say this.
Let's be
If
honest.
you look up, then
Anybody,
you do.
eh,
I know
let's
what I
be
know to
real.
be a fact. What I know is that the average income of of a Jamaican in America is higher than the average income of a FBA in America. That I
Okay, why
know
would
as
you
a
can? Okay, let me
fact.
ask you this:
That is a
why would you
fact.
compare? Okay, well, why are you comparing yourself to the FBA? Let's compare you to the average white immigrant and the average Asian immigrant. It's twice. You guys almost make twice as less as the average other immigrant. Why aren't you
But
guys making the same amount as the Asian, the Indian, and the white immigrant?
and
Since
the Asians ain't telling me
that's
to
a
go
good
home.
question.
Asians ain't
Why?
telling me to go home to
What do you
Jamaica.
mean? I
White
never.
people ain't telling me to go home to
You're
Jamaica and
not in
fix
their
the place up.
spaces.
The only reason I'm
If
comparing
you,
myself to you is
why?
because you're the one telling me to go home to
I didn't tell
Jamaica
you
and
to do
fix my
that.
place up. Well, if you want to know why I'm speaking to FBA, the reason I say this to FBA and the reason I compare myself to FBA and not to any other ethnicity is because no other ethnicity is telling me to go back to Jamaica and fix up the place. Only FBA.
Let's be
So I'm
honest
gonna
though.
go at
Even at
FBA and tell
that,
Let
even
me
at
finish.
that,
Let me finish. Let me finish. So I'm gonna go at FBA and tell FBA to fix up their place.
we
Fix up
should.
their place.
We
Stop
talk
worrying
about
about
fixing.
Jamaica. Fix up your place. You are twice the national average in poverty. Fix up yourselves.
Hmm. I think it's because people are invading our spaces, and I say FBA because when you come into another person's country, that's like me going to Jamaica, telling everybody, "Hey, in Jamaica, fix up your place. You guys are poor. You guys are lazy." That won't work. That's the problem there. We even when I go to Jamaica, because I love Jamaica, I would never go
No, you
there,
only say it to
spend my
Jamaicans in
time,
America. You
huh?
say it to, you won't go to Jamaica and say it.
No,
You'll say it to
no, I don't,
Jamaicans in
because
America.
I wouldn't
Go
be in
home
their
to Jamaica and
country.
fix up the place.
Well,
Go
if you're
home
involved
down
in,
south and fix up the
no, if
place.
you're involved in our politics in my country, I will tell you that. Now, if you're not involved in
Black
our
American,
politics,
Black
I would not
American.
say
I am
that.
Black American. What is the matter with you? I am an American citizen. What the
I
hell are
said
you
Black
telling
American
me? And
politics.
I don't. What are you talking of? There's no such thing as
Repar-
Black American politics.
yes, it
Politics
is.
is politics is everybody's business. There's no
No,
such thing
listen.
as black.
Let me explain to
Give
you.
me
Let
an
me explain
example of
to
Black
you.
American
Okay.
politics that white people don't get to vote
Example.
on.
Example.
Give me something that about Black
No, I'm not
American
saying
politics
I'm
that
not
white
saying
people
that you
don't
don't get
vote
to
on.
vote on. I'm saying
Then
this,
what are you
right?
talking about? Then
Okay,
what
so
is
for
this Black
instance,
American politics you're talking about?
Black American. Okay, for instance, right? Reparations. That's a good one, right? For me,
That's going through
as a,
Congress.
as
That's
as a
not Black
Jamaican,
American politics. Hello, hello. That's going through Congress. There's a bill
it can
now
go
going
through
through
Congress.
Congress.
I
Wait, are you saying only Black American congressmen are going to vote on that bill?
I'm not saying you're gonna vote. I said
Then
you
what the
asked
hell
me
are
a
you
question,
talking of?
right?
Then what is this
You just
Black
said
American
you
politics
just
you're
said
talking about?
I just said
What is, give me
I
an,
said
hold
if you
on.
get into
Listen,
hold on,
listen to
you
me.
asked me a
Give
question.
me
Let
an
me answer.
example of Black American politics that I should stay out of.
Hold on. I said this. If you asked me initially, what politics did you stay out? I said, why FBAs would tell you to go home and go back to your country and fix Jamaica. I said, if you get involved in our politics, meaning FBA politics, I'm not saying you can't get involved. I said this is why you trigger people to give you those responses.
But Black
I'm not saying
American,
you
I'm not
can't get
getting
into
involved in
those.
your politics. I'm getting involved in my politics. To me, there's no such thing as Black American politics. There's just American politics. And I get to vote on
Okay,
any
well
issue,
that's what
including, you know
okay,
what the
American
problem here.
politics.
Here's the problem, Black American. Here's the problem. The
Okay.
problem is your main problem with immigrants, especially Black immigrants,
I
is
don't
the
have a
fact that
problem
we
with
go
anyone.
well, FBA's problem with Black immigrants is the fact that they go against reparations because the main issue FBA have is reparations, and they call people tethers that undermine their reparations. So what they're telling me is exactly what you're telling me. They're telling me I shouldn't speak against reparations
Absolutely
because
not.
it has nothing to do with me. But as an American citizen, it does have something to do with me because my tax money is going to go towards paying that reparations if it's going through Congress. So it does have something to do with me. And this isn't no
Right.
Black American issue.
You
This
do you
is an
think that's kind
American
of
issue where
hypocritical?
I'm saying you can. I'm
let
saying you
me
can speak
finish.
on it, but
This
people are going to
this
tell
is
you
an
that.
American issue. Reparations, if it's going through Congress, reparations is an American issue that
Sure.
every American citizen has a right to voice their opinion on. And you cannot tell me, oh, I'm not foundational Black American, so you shouldn't have a say in reparations and whether y'all get. Hell yeah, I do. If it's
I'm
going
not saying
through
you're not
my
going to have a say
taxes,
so.
then I do have a say. Then what is
I
this
said you're going
Black
to have
American
backlash.
politics you're talking about?
I said you're going to have backlash. That's the reason why
Listen,
you asked
listen
why
to
you get
me.
the
Well, no,
backlash. I said you're going to get them
Listen,
when you're
Black
involved in our
American,
politics,
Black
brother.
American, Black American. I voted against abortion. I'm pro-life. I get backlash for that. I voted for I'm pro building the wall. I got backlash for that. Every issue in America is going to bring backlash. For
Okay.
you to tell me not to have an issue with something because I'm going to get backlash is ridiculous. You're telling me not to be a citizen, and I'm not going to
No,
take that
I'm not saying you're
advice.
not. You just said
That
why
is
we
what you're
tell some people
saying.
are going to tell you to go back to Jamaica and build your country. I said you're going to get that kind of backlash when you involve
well,
yourself in
hold
Black
on. Yeah,
American
that's
politics.
not
That's all I'm
backlash
saying.
because he's nobody.
And the reason
We're
you're
going to say
saying
go
that is
back
to
and do
tell me
your
to
and
keep
build.
out of it. The reason you're
I
telling
don't.
me that is to advise me to stay out of their business. And I'm telling you, it's not their business. They're making it my business. When they want to bring reparations through Congress, they're now making it my business as a U.S.
I agree
citizen.
with you.
And none of
I
y'all
do.
can tell me I don't have a voice in that.
Yeah, you
You're
have a
being
voice.
Well,
ridiculous.
I'm not
I
saying you
do
don't have
agree
a
with it,
voice.
but
I
hold
never
on. I don't think
disrespect
what you're
that.
saying backlash is actually happening because I've
Tell that
lived
to
in the
Black
United States
American.
so Black American,
Oh,
whatever, to career.
yeah.
I've lived in New York City. I lived in Miami, Florida. I
Uh-huh.
lived amongst Caribbeans my entire life. Half my
Uh-huh.
family are Caribbeans. I ain't
Right.
never heard nobody tell Caribbeans. Black people have never told Caribbeans to go back to their country for no reason. Now, what
Okay.
probably happened is what y'all said was because you know what y'all was saying.
I
We
said go
don't have
build.
any culture. Well, hold on. We don't have any culture, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
Right.
We should fix up our communities, right? You've been saying that a lot on in this discussion, and you know you saying all of this stuff, and you don't know our history, you don't know what we've done, what we've accomplished, what we're doing, but you can say all of this stuff as if you know. And then when you say, hey, you start criticizing the Black community, and we say, well, hold on, your own country is worse. Why? What gives you the right to tell us anything, and you couldn't even get it together in your own country? That's a
They want to be able to
valid
throw these
response.
that, and that's
That's
the
not a
thing.
backlash. Hold on, that's not a
Yeah,
backlash. That's
correct.
a valid response, because what would make you think you could tell somebody to do something better when you couldn't accomplish it yourself?
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't have a right to speak on it, but to speak on it in a way where I get to have free reign to criticize you because I'm here in America, but then I don't have any responsibility to fix anything where I'm from especially being from whether it's Jamaica or anywhere. This is why if you would have the same sensitivity of what's going on in Jamaica, you would understand why we have issues here. The same issues you have there, you don't have to ask us why we need to fix our countries here or the states that we're in here, because you already know the same things that are plaguing us here plagues your own homeland. So other than trying to be a part of the solution, you should be aligning yourself with us to try to help us fix these particular places and not see yourself as an outsider, because one minute you can't just be, I'm just an American citizen, I have nothing to do with you guys, and then on the other end, it's well, we're kind of similar and we're the same. We're both Americans. So that's all I'm saying is either we can't play both sides of the fence. Are you about the solution and helping us fix these problems? Are you an American? Are you with us? Or are you just speaking from an outsider? And if you're an outsider, you're going to get criticized, right? That's just, if you see yourself as an outsider, then people are going to treat you as such. If you're an insider, you will be helping us. If you're an ally to us, you'll be helping us. You won't just be criticizing us. You'll be saying, hey, I'm spending my tax dollars to come help out Baltimore, to help out Georgia, or help out Virginia. Are you an ally, or are you just aligning yourself with white supremacists to talk down on us with no no efforts to try to help us and try to correct and rectify some of our issues? That's what I want to know.
No, that's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility. And America has what's known as personal responsibility, and I'm responsible for myself. I don't think about black people and making sure I help out black. No, that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is me and my family. By helping me and my family, I indirectly am helping black people because me and my family are black people. Now, every individual black person got to take care of themselves. And the fact that y'all can't seem to take care of yourselves individually doesn't now mean the onus is on me to come take
Who
care of
is
y'all.
y'all?
Y'all
But
got to
hold
take
on, but
Who's the white?
whoever
you
was
Why did
said
you
just
fix
say
the
saying that
wait,
y'all?
wait, wait.
I should help
You
out the
said
black
Hold on, but he
y'all.
said
community.
fix the
I thought
community,
you.
but then he says
Yes,
he's
he
only
says
worried
he's
about
not
himself.
just by
I'm
himself.
confused. Which is it?
You keep saying y'all, and then you saying you. You can't use those
Yeah, yeah.
interchangeably.
Like what?
Are
Which
you?
is
Is
it?
it fix
I
you?
said y'all should go. The reason I said y'all should go fix your community
You
is
said
because you keep
FBA
telling me I need
plural,
to go fix my country.
but it's
Can
you.
y'all keep up, please?
Right,
You
but you
You
just
see,
said
if y'all never
you
said
just
to
said
me,
we're all one people. We're all
you
ourselves.
said
You
you
just made the
Americans.
yeah. You
You
just
said
made
we're
the
all
argument saying you only
Americans.
focus on yourself and your family, but then you tell us to go fix our community. I'm
because
confused.
you're telling me to go back to Jamaica and fix up Jamaica. Hello, hello. If
It's
you
the
tell me to go
response
fix
to
up
you saying we
Jamaica,
should fix.
I'm gonna.
You said to fix our community first. Do you remember?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You
Okay,
lying.
I'm
Cut it out.
all right. All right.
I even truth
So
teller. You're not
so
a good
so
truth teller.
so
You're not a
so
good.
now so now this is about
I
personal
even said that nine
responsibility
times out of ten,
and
every
Sir,
FBA, nine times
so
out of ten,
you
nine out of
classified
every
black
10
people
FBA,
several times, sir.
9 out of 10 FBA
Poor
that
black
come up here tell me
neighborhoods,
to go back to Jamaica.
poor black neighborhoods,
you said
Baltimore. You remember? You said that. It
Yeah,
wasn't
because y'all
us.
and
keep telling me to go fix up
and
Jamaica. Did you tell me
and
to
then
go
you
fix up
said you're
Jamaica?
found. Hold
No,
on.
you said
Truth
black
teller.
people need to do this
And
stuff
you
because
said
you
you
was
were
making the argument
foundational.
saying there is no
You
black.
know what?
We're
And
just
his argument
Americans.
was that he was foundational. So I
Okay.
want to know what road and what tax system you individually created yourself, which system
Right.
you created in America yourself, not everybody else, that makes you foundational. You not paying taxes, because
That
that's
was
not
the
a
whole. That
system.
was your whole
That's not
point.
an institution, because you said you
You
personally.
pay
So
taxes. That's not an institution.
that's not an institution.
So you want to know what road I've built?
Yeah, I want to know
Well,
what
that's what I
system
was
you created.
asking.
You want me to tell you
What
exactly
pillar
which
I
road
want to
immigrants
my
know
built?
what
tax money?
system. I
You
want to
want to
know
know
what
which
system you
road my
created.
tax money went to build?
No, I want to know what
No,
system
I
you
want to know
created
what
because that's
pillar
an
you built.
institution. I want to know
What?
what
What?
Pillar
pillar,
did
what
you build?
institution you build.
Yeah, that's a pillar.
That's a
No,
pillar. Yes.
I'm the pillar. Me.
No, you're not,
Oh,
You know,
brother.
God
you
Come
damn it.
forgot
on.
I
Yeah.
said that.
See,
I'm the
see, he
pillar.
wants to play these games
Me.
where he's an individual one minute, then he's a part of this huge global American empire the next. Come on, brother. Like, are you an
We are
American?
listen. We are 15 minutes away from being 3 hours in, so I'm going to be closing up soon. So, who's still here? Just y'all two. Oh wait, the truth teller just leave. Black American. You
Yes,
want to give your
sir.
final words before we get out of here? Because
My
I'm gonna get
okay.
ready to
All
end
right.
this.
My final thoughts is this. See, as
Yeah.
somebody who's also interested in the liberation of Black people, I will say this, and this is what, as much as I do not like FBAs, I hate that. One thing they do have, and one of the talking points, and I really understand that now, and it's crystallized with some of these conversations, is that immigrants, they have a diametrically opposed view, not only interest as Black Americans. When they come here, some of them, and the majority of them, see themselves as individuals. Some of them individuals, some of them not. But their whole theory is to come here to replace us. That is what I'm getting out of this. Even though I do love my brothers and sisters from Jamaica or anywhere else that are Black nations, the rhetoric is all about I'm coming as an individual. I don't care about the community. It's just me. But they're not in the interest of building their own homeland or building the place they're at or the community where they're at. That's very disappointing. And that the fact that they give credence to some of that rhetoric that these FBI FBA knuckleheads evoke is sad to me. I really thought that this was not the case, and I continually have hope for my brothers and sisters abroad who come here not with this individualistic mentality. Let me do anything just in the sake of helping myself, crab in a barrel type of people. I hope one day that we can find a solution of common interest that could help each one of us, both groups, from Jamaica to Haiti and Barbados. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, and the only thing I will say in a response is, you can absolutely rest assured that, and I can only speak for Jamaicans, but Jamaicans are not me in particular. Am not here to replace you or Black Americans, and I'll tell you exactly why. Immigrants are not here to replace y'all. If immigrants were to come here to replace you, that means that we would want to be the poorest people in America. Remember, y'all already agreed that Black is synonymous with poor. We don't want to come here and be poor, so we're not trying to replace y'all and be the poorest in America. That's
Okay.
silly. That's backwards. We don't want to replace y'all. Y'all want to stay the poorest. That's y'all business. We
Facts.
want to be not the poorest people in any respect at all. Yeah. So you can rest assured that that's not at all what we have in mind. Um, yeah. So like I said, I have been going for a while. We are going on 3 hours. I want to say thanks to everyone that stop by and pay their respects. That's what's up. Hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. You know you like the show. You know you like the conversation. Hit that like button, please, and subscribe as well, and hit that notification bell so that you see when we're live again. Because you want to hang out. You know you want to hang out. All right. Blessings to y'all. It's been real. Thanks to the panelists that came in, except for Pan Mulattoism. He gets no thanks at all. Everybody else, thank y'all very much. Y'all have been real. Catch y'all on the next one. Bless yourselves.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad man, them up to one. Hygiene a treat. That's why you forget. Rifle a beat. Everybody want the gun from the feet. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad man, them up to one. Hygiene a treat. That's why you forget. Every day I'm at the ball when she. I want you to listen very, very carefully. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad
bad mind them up to one. IG not eat. That's why enough of them. Yeah, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 days, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go slave. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go rape. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle was submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they can't go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, how me see enough stress. Them all a fight for who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't
rest. In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, IG not eat. That's why enough of them, yeah, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 wheels, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go slave. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go rape. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle was submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah.
Very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, IG not eat. That's why enough of them, yeah, rifle a beat. Everybody want big ups and want to drive in a jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 days, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go slave. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go rape. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle was submit. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest said them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, how me see enough stress. Them all a fight for who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't rest.
In the streets so we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life. ghetto life.
Everybody a priest, say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them up to one, hygiene a do it. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want the guns and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 wheels, you can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep a eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go leap. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the seed. Now care about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle we sonate. The system will slide where you fit.
In the streets where we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, ghetto life. Talk about ghetto life, ghetto life.
Everybody a priest, say them want the dough. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life, ghetto life. This a real ghetto life, ghetto life.
Very, very carefully.
Tell the youth them to be strong. You can't tell the youth them to preach wrongs. While you try it on these lands, just remember every man is equal. Yeah, each one teach one. And our Father God, him are the only done. So make we ease and reason. Smoke trees, span the ends, all the deep meds. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's the government no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Yeah, bigger heads no love people again. Them more than little of them. Me see friends now reason again. Vex through whistle a blame. What time it hurt me to see how the face deal with the eagle of them. Regular me see it a pain. Regular me see it a pain. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's the government no have no heart, them no care about poor people. Social commentary. Drop the one your principle, you don't know the global will come and do it. Some people life every day it's stress. The high price from JPS, that topic is currently. Jah alone him a go help you. We need food and we no healthy. We are feel the pain, beg you protect we. In a life we have no envy. Take a look at life and don't close your eyes. Sometimes things happen and it's no surprise. And I just so it go, so it go, so it go, so it go. It's the government no have no heart, them no care about poor people.
Very carefully.
Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. When God spoke his words, they said he was deranged. Marley sung his songs, they said the same. Malcolm X and Martin Luther fought relentlessly so we could be better. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise.
Recognize royalty, like they ain't got eyes to recognize royalty.
I can feel.
Recognize royalty.
I can see.
Recognize royalty.
Now I recognize
royalty.
Royalty's eyes.
Royalty.
I can see.
Recognize royalty.
I can love again.
Recognize royalty.
Now I
recognize it.
Royalty.
I recognize passion. Never just a man with the title in his hand, with the vital in his hand, with the Bible in his hand. Never just a man with the scepter in demand, with the lecture in the stand, with the vector and the candle. Can you understand the grand? From the texture of the hand, hard at work. Are you hard at work, working with the man? Or kiss the ring of royalty? Crown him king, just a thing, letting loyalty ring. Bring frankincense and myrrh and other things. As gold already blings from the highest that prizes no sins. Recognize the kings overruling commandments with the Trinity and the power it brings. When you recognize royalty, I feel it.
I can see.
Yeah, I see it. I recognize now. Royalty.
I can see.
I see it. Now I'm in love now. I recognize your passion.
Royalty.
Recognize royalty. Sunrise royally. Sitting on top of the world. I'm five morally. Status of a king for surely. Morally, we pop dumb things till we stop the impurity. We pop them just for recognition. Listen to the missionary on a mission with the visionary vision. Do you recognize intuition? I reel in men when I went out fishing. I'll tell you why they rocked the boat. Cause they didn't understand what the prophet wrote. What's the conniption? Choose the Jews' crucifixion and refuse recognition at son child's christening. In the mix amid some insist they fix the system from malarkey back to my monarchy. Yeah, back above me. Don't soil my purple and blue, and I will recognize your royalty too.
I can feel you.
I feel it.
I can see.
I can see it.
Now I
recognize now.
Royalty's eyes.
Your royalty.
I can see.
I see it.
I can love again.
And I'm in love now. I recognize your passion.
Royalty.
Royalty.